Here we go. Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Bombers Blitz right here on the College Football Mafia channel. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown. And as we saw on Friday last week, I continue to have technology challenges, and that would be a user error. So please let me know in the comment section if you guys can't hear me, if it gets choppy. I would prefer not to have to change anything because I don't want to lose you guys and run the risk of not keeping a story going that we're talking about. But I will do my best to manage it from here. Regardless, I'm here for you guys and I'm not here for myself. So please give me some feedback if we've got something going on that I need to try to fix. I'm not saying I can fix it, but we could certainly try. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. The College Football Mafia family, host, channel, whatever you want to call it. Got a bunch of people that are partners with the show, contributors with the show, and certainly the guys who have been with me the longest. That would be the Wild Ute. That would be the Mowing After Dark. And then, of course, we have everybody else, not only the viewers, you guys, Daniel Gygax, right? Becky Go Huskies, Sergeant Pickles. And see, I'm putting myself on the spot trying to remember everybody. You guys know if I miss, when I miss people, it's not on purpose. I'm trying to think. I trip myself up. You know, this is a debate tactic. You do that, you go off topic, you screw up the conversation by asking something else, and it gets certainly puts people on the wrong foot. Let's see here. Becky Go Huskies, Sergeant Pickles. We have CU Buffs. That would be the mighty Fergie FF18 Buffs in the house. Wild Dude already mentioned. I'm just trying to think if there's any that jump out at me. You know, we have active and inactive, and then we have people that just help us out. And Sergeant Rock, I think, would go closer to the very top of that list, probably just right behind the mighty Moen. But each one of them, each one of these people, I very, very much appreciate. Becky Go Huskies does a ton of work. Daniel Gygax does a ton of work. Certainly, that would be Rockin' Rant, does a ton of work on top of his own channel, parentheses. I hope to have him over here one day. But that would be College Football Express. And then there's everybody else. All the legal partners we have, just in general, all the legal advice that we have help us. I could spend a whole show nothing, and I did that the first year, I think, trying to do shout outs for everybody, and it was a complete failure. I missed so many people. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I know I got a bunch of you guys out of context, so please forgive me if I haven't shouted you out by name. That's not on purpose. It is really on, and if you know me, it's really about my memory or lack thereof. I use gummy bears to keep my mouth wet. So that's kind of what we do on a week to week. And we are getting close to our preseason breakdowns of the conferences and schools. Those will begin in July. On top of that, we changed a little bit of format. Not only do we have the new shows we've been doing and new shorts that we've been doing as a group, But then we have everything else to keep this thing going and on the rails. And I appreciate everybody for all of that work. Not one of those things is small, and I don't want you to think that I'm thinking it is. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll get through this summer. Unfortunately, it's going by way too quick. For heaven's sakes, we just had summer solstice, and it's already starting to get dark. No, I'm just teasing. But it will begin to start getting darker, and that's when my old man brain begins to break. Anyway, let's get some really quick specific shout outs to start the show. Moen After Dark partner, full-blooded partner with me and the Wild Ute right here at the College Football Mafia. Gifted 5 new College Football Mafia memberships. Let me get to, do we have shout? Let's do this. Let's do this. A couple of 1 minute. And in that 5, we have Stevie G, right? Stevie G, Jonathan Anderson, Baby Wants Bling. That's a good one. I like that one. Zoe Zucci, I think I have that right. And is that it? L. Weiss, TTU. That'd be Laura Weiss, the Laura Weiss. At Texas Tech, Red Raider family. Appreciate Laura. Laura's been with us since the beginning. OG member of the College Football Mafia family, somebody who's here even when Laura's not here, always around. And I really appreciate all that she has done for us and the patience she has shown the rest of us who, especially at the beginning, made all kinds of mistakes. Laura has been very patient with us, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much for all those new memberships. Please shout out the Moen After Dark. I'm going to give a heavy-duty clap to Moen After Dark for giving those new memberships. Yes, we have started a new one member benefit, or sorry, 1 member what do you call it? We flattened out the curve. We got rid of all the edges, and we just went to 1 payment. Seemed to be not only easier, but much more affordable with a greater number of people watching the show. And I appreciate everybody participating in that and helping us with that transition. Laura T. Rutledge also understands how that works because she understands what that means and what membership does for the wider world at the College Football Mafia. And I really appreciate Laura for doing that. Those new memberships I shouted out. If you received a new membership, I am commanding you to 1, shout out the person who gave it to you. In this case, that would be Moen After Dark, gave new memberships out. And 2, having gifted out those memberships, you've received one, consider paying it forward and give somebody else one, a free membership of the College Football Mafia family and members of the tribe around here. Thank you so much, Moen, for doing that. 5 new gifted memberships. And if everybody got one, make sure you thank Moen in the chat. A simple thank you, Moen After Dark. That would be really cool. I know Moen likes to see those things. Who doesn't, right? And then 2, get involved with what new members and actually any members of the College Football Mafia looks together and ensure they are proper. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Properly determinative. It never. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I just lost my brain there for a second. I don't know what happened. My brain just. Zzz. You guys ever had that? Where you're in the middle of something and out of nowhere, I literally just had a laser beam. It's almost an out of body experience. Shot lightning bolt across my vision. That's wow. That's a bit debilitating. Anyway, thank you so much, Moen. I appreciate it. Make sure you shout out Moen for doing those free memberships, and then pay it forward. Give somebody else a membership. Helps us around here. More importantly, your luck will go up. Your caring for other people without a thought to yourself. All these things are the way to build our family, our college football mafia family. More importantly, to build each other up as human beings. That's one thing that we really try to build around here is that extended family feel. We want this to be a safe space, even when you disagree. I'm so glad. This is time I normally don't get at the beginning of a show. I'm going to take advantage of this since I'm in the middle of it anyway. At the beginning of every show, especially if you missed a shout out during the previous show, do me a favor. Well, for one thing, uh, let's see. And again, I just lost it. I don't know. I got a lot on my head today, I guess. I can't remember what I was going to say. Doesn't matter. But Moen, thank you so much for that. You guys are awesome. And all the viewers, you guys have a high bar to meet to be a better part of the college football mafia family. And I am saying the easiest way to exhibit that is to give other people memberships, or you can give super chats, or you can do super stickers, and all those things you can do by looking at the bottom of the comment box. You'll see a window where you can put comments in. Right next to it, there's a dollar bill, yo. Hit that dollar bill, and you either can give a super sticker, you can give out memberships, you can get involved with great comments and get other people to engage with you, especially if we have things that matter out in the wider world. All of those things are amazing, and I really appreciate everybody stepping up and helping. Okay, wow, that was a lot. Start off 15 minutes almost in. At the same time, we had another 5 gifted memberships. They came from the Ryan Willie Evil Badger, Wisconsin Badgers, proud member of the Big Ten. Big Ten Conference, Wisconsin Badgers, fantastic mascot. More importantly, fantastic people. And I know this for a fact that if Moen means something for giving out memberships, Ryan Willie is next level. Ryan Willie gives out new memberships, certainly with no thinking to anything that is his own. Ryan Willie gave out 5 new memberships, and those went to Eddie Wan, David Pierce, sorry, I'm reading it here, Rodney Richburg, Pwee Burnt Pizza. Say that again. Pwee, P-W-E-E, Burnt Pizza, all one word. And then one more would go to Richard Ledford. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming new members of the College Football Mafia family. Make sure in the comments section, just like with Moen, say thank you. Didn't cost you anything, free. You have these new memberships. You can use them to watch all of our member videos once I'm done, of course, tonight. And in doing so, give those memberships out, and I believe good karma will come to you in your family. And yes, I believe in karma. I do believe in karma. I believe in paying it forward. Ryan Willie's paying it forward. No One After Dark is paying it forward. Thank you so much, guys. And then one more out of nowhere off the top rope. We have Bulldog, Mississippi. That's right. Bulldog, Mississippi. I still have to send those out to Moen and Ute and Becky. Thank you so much, Bulldog, Mississippi. Super fan. OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Super fan of the SEC conference. And those memberships went out to Rang Bung Roon War. Okay. Y Clan, Mr. Ed Wayner, that would be super fan of the Houston Cougars. Rock and Rant, who not only receives this free membership, but also is a moderator and half and half partner to the College Football Mafia family. Somebody I lobby every day, wanting him to come on full time. You guys step up, give College Football Express a follow, and then tell him he needs to come over here and join us to run this College Football Mafia family. We need all the help we can get. And I know his dream is College Football Express. Certainly wouldn't want to cut into his dream. But this social pressure, Rock, I'm hoping it works and you'll decide to join us. And is that everybody? Let's see, Rock and Rant and Arn Craigbaum, right? Arn Craigbaum. That's a fantastic name as well. Welcome you guys to the new member list of the College Football Mafia family. In the comment section, first of all, thank Bulldog Mississippi. Thank Bulldog Mississippi. Thank Evil Badger Ryan Willie. And thank Moen After Dark, all new memberships. And I appreciate all of them and all of you for being here. You've turned my dream. And I don't know if it's you and Moen's dream, but I'm assuming they're putting enough time in. It might be their dream as well. But this is my dream, something I've wanted to do since I was in high school, even junior high in the early 80s. Always wanted to be ESPN. Didn't have the grades. Also, found out you don't make a lot of money in local broadcasting, local news. And I kind of, it's not like I'm a selfish money person, but you do need a little money to live your life, and local broadcasting is not where it's at. So my dream came later in life. You guys are sharing it with me, and I want to thank each one of you for giving me and the team some of your time and certainly your money and memberships. Boy, that makes my heart full. And I have no words can even express how cool this entire experience has been. 3.5 years in, and we just keep getting better and better. So thank you so much, guys, for all those gifted memberships. Again, if you received a gifted membership, thank these fine people in chat for giving you a free membership, and get involved to everything that we're doing around here for College Football Mafia. And I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, this is a great way to start off a nice evening. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here tonight. On top of that, we are going to do shout outs this evening. We will do some headlines. Let's see one of the headlines. I pulled this one today off of the AP News Service. Sorsby has been tasked 2026 NFL, 2026 CFL, 2026 UFL, 2026 college football, 2026 Marvel Comics, or 2026 NBA. Last but not least, 2026 Lannister or White Walker. What say you? To quote Lord of the Rings. Try to get into that tonight. I plan on going, an hour, probably another hour and a half if you guys keep me around. Should be a lot of fun, but certainly it's here based on you guys' interaction and how much you drive it. Um, I'm going to go through some headlines, through some super chats, if I have any, and then we absolutely positively will jump right in and get into the headlines. So before we do headlines, I like to change it up every once in a while. Let's do it a little different tonight. Let's start with original comments and shout outs. That would be Ryan Willie. I already did one thing. Hi, College Football Mafia. Then we have Mama Duck, Clemson Tigers. And if you're not familiar with Mama Duck, I'm going to lose my voice tonight, by the way. Getting a little sick. Mama Duck, Clemson Tigers. One, fantastic name in YouTube. I love it. And I know other people love it too. But Mama Duck, I think I was the first one to recognize the pure genius. It'd be great if you could tell the world that I was the first one to say that, because I think your name is actually fantastic. Daniel, the other guy, Gax, in the house, moderator in chief and member of the College Football Mafia family, saying hi, everyone. Let's see, Bruce Harris Law. Good to have you here, Bruce. Did you send me a DM, by the way? We were going to talk some legal stuff. I thought that was something we could do. Make sure you, on Twitter, go to my Twitter handle, Bomber_ College Football Mafia. Special name. Might have to check that out. Bruce Harris Law, send me a DM. I'd love to talk legal stuff with you. It doesn't even have to be about college football. I love legal stuff. Anything you want to chat about, I'm here for you. Boomer Sooner in the house, and Bruce has corrected me every time since I screwed it up the first time, and I really appreciate you, Bruce. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Saying Boomer Sooner in the house. Gavin, yes, go Big Red. Go Big Red, meaning the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the members of the College Football Mafia family. Hello, Bomber. There's a trick to having me read your initial shout-outs, by the way. You can ask in chat. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to quit telling people. It's an inside joke, but there is a life hack. You want me to read your comments or get involved with you, super chat or not, member or not. There is a life hack to that. Skipping yes says hello, Bomber. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Then we have Bob Swanger, the Penn State Nittany Lions, checking in. Can't wait for July, Bob. Preseason's going to be nice. He's saying hi, everyone. OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Joaquin Morales, another member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, hey, Bomber and College Football Mafia family, go Devils. That would be the Arizona State Sun Devils, right? Yeah, I got that right. Stephen Pitts, good to see you, Stephen. On again, off again member of the College Football Mafia family, but always love to have around regardless. Says, sounds good. Andrew, let's see, Andrew Watt, welcome. Checking in. It's good to see you, Andrew. Appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for being here again tonight. I've seen you before, and I appreciate it every time. Mark's Holy Grail, that would be the Mark's Holy Grail. Now at this point, getting close to being an OG member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, happy Tuesday, Bomber. Thank you so much, Mark. It's great to see you. Jose, been a minute. Good to see you, Jose. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Jose. Just because he engages and has conversation. That's what I'm here to do. Let's see here. Cranky Tiger, another Clemson Tiger. No, let's be sure. Clemson Tiger, Cranky Tiger, which Tiger are we talking about? That is a Clemson Tiger, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cranky Tiger. I think that's Clemson Tigers. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think that's right. And I love doing shout-outs, saying, what's up? Good to see you. Manic Reactions, another fantastic name on YouTube, saying Mowing Rocks. Very good. No Bomber Rocks. What are we doing? What are we doing, Manic? Come on, man. JJ Fuller in the house, super fan of the BYU Cougars. Somebody who knows data. He's also a fantastic eye surgeon. So I think he does laser and other stuff. You have to ask Jeff offline or in the chat kind of what he does. But I appreciate Jeff. He is a BYU super fan, somebody that I rely on for insider track on BYU news. I think maybe it's happened once in almost 4 years. Regardless, I appreciate you being here tonight, Jeff. We will be opening up the phone lines, Jeff, so feel free to call in. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you tonight saying Buenos noches, Bomber. And I don't know Spanish, but I think that's good evening. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. Let's see. Skaven Yes says, Bomber, you are having a rough night. Why am I having a rough night, Skaven Yes? Can somebody fill me in? What am I doing wrong, everybody? I'm ready. I'm open for a correction. Please let me know what I've done wrong or if I need to fix something. I am losing my voice, if that's what you mean. Bummer, you having a rough night. I hope not. Let's see here. Oh, miss my compatriots? Nah, I don't need them on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Stormy Cyclones, super fan for the Iowa State Cyclones. OG member of the College Football Mafia family saying, first pick is in NBA draft. Somebody keep me appraised. I would be stunned. I miss Michael Jordan, if that means anything to anybody. I miss basketball in the last 30 years, essentially. Not 30 years, so that would be 97. Well, yeah, pretty close. 97, 98. Anyway, Stormy, you'll have to tell me who's the first picks. Keep me apprised in the comment section. You guys let me know who gets what. I was a Seattle Supersonics fan, not a Utah Jazz fan, regardless where I live. And I think it'd be great for Utah if they could get AJ Bonsa, but was it Washington or somebody? They would be insane not to take him first. So we'll have to see. Bulldog, Mississippi, Evening Mafia, already did. Go Black 45, the OG of OGs. And I'm the one, by the way. I've been saying OG since I started this social media, Twitter, YouTube stuff. That was 4 years ago. That came over from Battlefield 2142 in 2001, 2002. Those are all fantastic call outs for names and sort of how things go. Go Back 45 has his own for LSU Tigers OG member as well. Sorsby need to go away. I thought he was working on his rehab. Yeah. I'm going to take a breath. There you go, but you and me on the same page. Go Black. I don't know any addicts myself. That's not true. I was addicted to video games for a while, like well and truly. Yeah, that was bad 15 years ago. But I don't think I thought it was complete craziness that a therapist came out and said Sorsby's rehab would be better if he was playing college football. I could not disagree more. I think that's absolutely crazy. When you're addicted to alcohol, you don't start working at a bar. So Go Black, you and I are on the same page. I don't get it either. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Morris Simmons checking in, representing the Florida State. The Florida State. The Florida State Seminoles in the house. Good to have you here, Morris. Appreciate you. Let's see. Trying to get people that I haven't shouted out. Shooter, Texas, representing the Baylor Bears of the Big 12 Conference. Good to see you, Shooter. Howdy, Bomber. Shooter and I go way back. My first group, I started working with Baylor. Then it was Texas Tech. Those were the two groups that were the friendliest to any BYU fan coming into the Big 12 in the last couple decades. I appreciate you, Shooter. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Evil Badger, Ryan Willie, $2 super chat. Oh, Stormy, that's what he's talking about. Well, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I could try. Hang on, everybody. Be patient with me. Maybe. I mean, I could try. Let's try this. I will try microphone. $390. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me? Put your hand up. Don't put your hand up. Is that any better? All right. You guys keep wondering. If that doesn't work, I'll try others. But the $2 super chat from Ryan Ridley. The 80s rocked. I just said I'm old as dirt. Hey, look, I'm older than you are, Ryan. For a $2 super chat. That's where it's at. Oh, that's good to hear, Stormy. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. So $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan. I really, really appreciate you. All right, let me get back to where I was at. It's good to know. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Dang it. I wanted to watch him around here in Utah. 80s rock. There's no doubt about it. Stormy Cyclone. First pick is in with the number 1 pick. Washington selects AJ DeBonsa. Well, sorry, Utah. You had your chance. It's too bad. Anyway, let's see. We will keep going. Try to get to as many of these. Manic reaction. Oh, Kenneth Maynor. Kenneth Maynor, super fan for not only Florida Gators, but also the East Carolina Pirates in the house tonight. OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Hello, Bomber and crew. I'm pretty much the Bomber. I'm not sure who the crew is tonight, Kenneth, but I appreciate the shout out. Who is this? Dang, I still miss GBD. Rest in peace. Who is that? Shooter? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. You'll have to, in the comment section, you guys, don't let me forget, chase this down by the end of the show. I still miss GBD. I don't know what that means. So please let me know. Bulldog Mississippi says, I'm tired of the Sorsby saga. Man, I am over it, David. There is no doubt. David Floyd, sorry, not David. Bulldog Mississippi said that. David Floyd, it's good to see you, man. It's been a minute. I love seeing you around. Back in the day, David was one of the first people that helped us get this channel off the ground years ago now. Let's talk Sorsby, calling it now. Jeffrey Kessler sues the Big 12. Yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible, David. So, yeah, I don't know. BYU football, that would be Shonsky in the house saying, Jeff, it's a shame that Satawala broke his foot out 8 weeks. That's news to me. I hadn't heard that. That's horrible news. 8 weeks, though, takes us to the end of August. Shonsky, right? So he should be good to go. Maybe he missed the first week or two. But Satawala, he's one of these guys that helps BYU get to the college football playoff. Win the Big 12, get to the college football playoff. I do think that happens. To Town Hawk, representing the Kansas Jayhawks, long-standing member of the college football mafia family. The only breakaway the Big Ten and the SEC will be able to achieve is a Kit Kat bar. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar? That's funny. That's funny. Old Dad, 751. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Old Dad and I are old. 67 days, go Noles. Good to have you here, old Dad. I appreciate it. Florida State. I'm praying for you, old Dad. Not really praying, because that would not be good. But I am in support of Florida State coming back. And the first thing they need to do is get off the ground and win the first 3 football games, which I think are all non-con. Actually, I don't know. That would be guessing. Whatever his first 4 weeks are, obviously usually dictates the rest of the season. But I think Florida State, look, we just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Anyway, let's see. Scrolling down, trying to get as many new people in as I can, guys. Oh, look at this guy, always causing trouble. Always causing trouble off the top rope. That would be peek around the corner. Greg Flugar, the gangster of this social media stuff. Good to see you here, Greg. I am absolutely going to lose my voice. Saying to Town Hawk, give me a break. Give it a break. Give it a break from the NCAA. Yeah, boy. Time will tell, Greg. Time will tell. Stephen Pitt says it sounds better. I really appreciate that. Stormy Cyclone checking in with another gifted membership. You guys, you're making my heart swell. If you're watching this show for the first time, and you're on Twitter, or you're coming in sideways to YouTube, just know that we are building for the biggest season we have ever had right here at the College Football Mafia family. We are going to be doing associations with other creators and channels. We're going to be sharing news and notes with very important people out in the world, giving everybody a little look-see into how the back end of college football works. And Stormy's just knocking another thing. We have dedicated a ton of time and resources into building for you guys the best membership, the best membership benefits of any college football YouTube college football creator products. We're going to do that. Member videos, member live shows, unique interviews, staying ahead of where we're going to be with consolidation. Not making crap up. Not doing clickbait just to get people to be on this channel. I'm going to go on a little sidestep here for a second, and then I'm going to shout out this person. Thanks again, Stormy Cyclone. There is a real world out there that says they'll do anything to get clicks, to get people to sub. We've chosen the opposite path. We are going with quality instead of quantity. Does that mean we don't want to be 10,000 subs by the end of next week? No, of course not. We do, of course, and we're building that, and you guys are helping us do that. And I would ask you to continue to shout us out on your social media as we get this build up for this next 2026 season. As we get ready for that, you guys are driving the bus. We're following you guys' lead on how you want us to cover news and notes, and we're adding more content all the time. So thank you for all of that. And I would just say this new membership from the Stormy Cyclone went to Roll Tide. 136. Roll Tide 136. Are you new around here? I think I've seen you before. It was a while ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments. I think I've seen Roll Tide around, but I would just say first, please shout out Stormy Cyclone for giving you a gifted membership. 2, after this show is over, go in and watch some of our member videos and then do us a favor. Clip some of those out onto X and let people know how good they are. We don't take any of this for granted. We work extremely hard for you guys to be with us always. And that means all season long, gifted memberships produce more member benefits. And that's where we're at. Thank you, Stormy Cyclone. I really appreciate that new membership. And yeah, I mean, Roll Tide. If you need help or you are new around here, don't hesitate to ask everybody in the chat kind of what the videos are that you should go back and watch as we prepare for the 2026 season. Last note, we have the smartest, the best, the elite members of the College Football Mafia family, people that pay for memberships, pay for super chats, and they know what time it is. They literally know what time it is if you ask them. And we do that to support you guys. And so in doing so, please leave questions and comments. Please follow everything up, every show after with what we should be doing or not doing. I appreciate all this hard work we at. And is this mowing? Mowing, can you hear me? Or is he just jumping on? Okay. I put Moen on and maybe I didn't mean to. Obviously, Moen, you can add yourself to the show if you want to. But this next season is going to be elite. And I want you guys to buckle up and get involved. That's all I'm saying. Let's see here. I scroll down, get to see anybody else that I haven't shouted out before we actually get to a few news items. And then we will go with your comments and questions. David Kreitzer, thank you for being here tonight, David. Hey, College Football Mafia. Sorry, College Football Sickos. Yes, David, you have come to the right place for sure. Let's see here. And last but not least, I'm not saying this, Kenneth is, but this isn't Locked On XXX. We are farmers. No, I'm just teasing. We are College Football Mafia, and we cover wall to wall without any troll things, without clickbait, and with dedicated news for you. And we're really proud of that. So I am absolutely going to gloat about that every chance I can get. And Kenneth, I'm going to leave this as the final comment. Go Penguins. Is that for hockey? Or is that Antarctica? Yeah, Moen, I'm fine. Yeah, I just got a whole bunch of energy tonight. Anyway, so I appreciate you checking on me, though. Thank you. All right, let's get to a few news items, and then we will get calls. And Moen always has my back, and I really, really appreciate that. Okay, let's go to some headlines. Let's see here if I can share this tab instead. Okay, let's start with, I don't want to start with that one. I don't want to start with that one. All right, I'm going to give some special news and notes, and I want you guys to help me walk through these things. And you guys decide if this is stuff you want me to chase down, we can talk about further, or if we just sort of crib note this and just go straight to calls. This is the first one. And let me get this comment off here. Ross Dellinger, let me get his copy link. We always give credit. We do not steal other creatives' hard work. Let's look at the Kenneth Sorsby. I know talked about making fun of this, about wanting it over, but we do have to put a bow and tie this sucker off. And I'd like to close it out sooner than later, but let's get to some data. And then if you guys don't want it anymore, I will not talk about it anymore. Sorsby's timeline, when he became past his recruitment to join Texas Tech from Cincinnati, we knew he was the number one portal QB, but we really didn't know anything else about him except to say he forewent, if that's the way to put it, the NFL draft. And now he's supposed to be gearing up for this 2026 season. So this is a timeline, and you guys tell me, and I was just having fun with this. Let me get this banner. I'll put that back up maybe in a little bit. So Sorsby timeline, the NCAA begins Sorsby investigation. I believe that was April, maybe March. Sorsby enters treatment. He admits he's got a problem. Moen, if there's anything, I went to the dentist today and my whole mouth is numb and my mouth is extremely dry, as I've said many, many times. So that's part of it. And obviously there could be other things, but that's where I think it is today. Sorsby enters treatment. Sorsby gets banned, right, by the NCAA. Sorsby files suit saying, you can't ban me. I'm Brendan Sorsby. No, I'm just teasing. Sorsby files suit back. Sorsby is granted the temporary restraining order or injunction. Big 12 files suit. We're going back and forth here, right? Big 12 files suit. Sorsby, Texas Tech split. Sorsby withdraws his suit. The NFL decides against supplemental draft. So I posted the link for the timeline. But this is what's happened. This is what's happened. The NFL said no supplemental draft for you, Brendan Sorsby. No, and I'm going to make that a headline. No. How else do I want to put it? Well, maybe I won't worry about that. Let me just read this. Brendan Sorsby's counsel, Jeffrey Kessler, tells Yahoo Sports that the NFL's decision is a violation of collective bargaining agreement, and we intend to pursue the players' rights with the NFLPA. For one thing, he's not a member of the NFL yet, so I don't know how he can be a member of the NFLPA. The NFL basically said, nope, we're not doing a supplemental draft just for you. That's obviously upset his plans. So this timeline, which has no dates to it, but it's all happened within the past 60 days. Jeffrey Kessler, his lawyer, Brendan Sorsby's lawyer, is saying we're going to file suit because you're, and I don't know what the claim is, restricting trade or something like that. Is a collective bargain, is a violation of collective bargaining agreement, which he, as far as I know, is not a member of. So that's the first headline I'm going to get into tonight. What do you guys think about this? Brendan Sorsby going back and forth and back and forth. His lawyer saying, NFL, you can't restrict this. I want to be in the supplemental draft. Do you guys think he deserves to be in the supplemental draft? I don't think he does. He broke actual laws for several years, right? Broke actual laws, not rules. Broke laws. And in some way, shape, or form, sort of skirted, was trying to get around NCAA violations. And now the NFL saying, we are not going to allow you to enter the NFL via any method in 2026-27. So what do you guys think about that? Right? What do you guys think about that? Let me put a banner here. That's what I was going to put here. Brendan Sorsby. NFL no supplemental draft. Let me just put this up here and I will scroll that around the bottom so you guys can see it and we can save it. And we'll bring it up so everybody can see it. What do you guys think about that? You guys are the smartest viewers in YouTube college football fandom. And I honestly believe that. I started saying that, by the way, before anybody did. I said OG before anybody did. So a whole bunch of stuff that I did that I brought over from video games. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? I want to have a conversation before I do anything else. So right now, right this second, let me open up the phone lines, right? Yeah. Let me share this tab instead. I'm going to open up the phone lines and let's talk Brendan Sorsby for not the last time, but one of the last times, maybe. 801-899-6203. 801-899-6203. Call in right now. Let me cut this out. I don't like that. Additional, we'll just cut that out. Ooh, there we go. Let me just delete that. What do you guys think? Brendan Sorsby not available for the NFL. Call in right now. 801-899-0203. Let's
call from
Cowtown Hawk.
To accept, press 1.
Sorry, there was somebody else calling at the exact same time to Town Hawk.
Oh, it's all right. No worries.
What's up?
You want me to hang up?
No. No, please. What's going on?
Ty goes to the runner.
No, you're fine. You beat him in.
All right. You know what, Kessler is, man, I tell you, he is a piece of work. How dare you, NFL, not let my entitled client into your league after he's broken several federal laws without accountability. Don't forget that. Without any real criminal accountability yet. Not to say that's not going to happen, but I'm sure, you know, at some point there'll be a slap of the hand later on. But I can't believe this guy. And I wonder if he's either on retainer or if he's just every single new lawsuit he files.
Paid
hey,
per item.
Put some more quarters in the slot machine, man.
Right. Hang on 1 second to Town Hawk. Hang on. Somebody's calling right now, and I don't have caller ID. I don't know who that is. Please call back after to Town Hawk is done. I'd love to talk to you, but I do try to listen, and we have fun show tonight. I'm going to be here a while, so you will have your opportunity to talk. I just need to get through to Town Hawk first. So please call back after he's done. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Greg Sankey's calling you right back.
Yeah, probably.
Just watch out.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah.
Okay, so that clears up the Sorsby thing. He's done. I mean, he's done till he needs to get it together sometime before next April. I think he probably needs to spend about 90% of his time doing the things off the field to rehab his reputation.
Is there a guarantee that even next year they're going to let him in?
No, I think he's a gamble. That's why I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about the NFL. So not if teams will take him, if the NFL will keep him for a certain amount of time permanently exiled.
Well, I caught a little bit of Rocket Ranch show earlier. He had like an emergency on it, and he pulled up some tweets, and one of the quotes, I don't want to butcher it, but accountability for your actions.
Yes.
and the
Well, I've been
lack
saying
thereof.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was a major sticking point with the NFL, and I'm sure there's the cloudiness on the legal side as well. So I think he has to address that in a way that satisfies not only he's got to satisfy two groups. He's got to satisfy the owners, number one, and he's got to satisfy the Players Association. Because I'm assuming if he comes in, he's got to have everything in line and in tow. You have to be in good standing before you join. And again, it's not a right. It is a privilege.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
play for the NFL, just like any private association.
Absolutely.
You're not guaranteed a spot, or else every scrub with millions of dollars in the bank would go soon and say, "Hey, you didn't pick me in the 17th round. Well, I deserve a shot." No, that's not how that works.
Well, tonight is going to be, unless something drastically changes, tonight's my last Brendan Sorsby evening. There's nothing to cover now. He is out for at least the next year or 8-10 months. I'm going to let you guys sort of cleanse your palate, but I'm done with it after this because honestly, there's
awesome.
no more news to go with it,
I don't like. I'm done with that. I'm done with conference realignment. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
I'm all about the upcoming season.
Okay, so give me an upcoming season headline. Something smart.
Something smart.
Yeah, something that makes people think.
I think Big 12 is going to have 3 teams tied for first place by the end of the season.
Really? You think we're going to be back there again?
Yeah, but I don't think in the scenario that, not in a poor scenario, I think you might have 3 one-loss teams.
Okay.
Now, if that's the case, 3 one-loss teams means one doesn't get to play in a championship game.
Yeah,
the other
so
one
they're going to
does.
play a game of Rochambeau to see who gets those 2 spots.
Well, and here's the thing. Then you have 2 single-loss teams more than likely getting in. Does the 2-loss team have an outside shot of getting in as the third Big 12 team into the playoffs?
No. In
not
my
at
opinion, no, not. They'll be lucky to get 2.
You think so?
I think you'd have to have 2 teams run undefeated through, like BYU and Texas Tech could go undefeated all the way to the championship game. That is the only situation that I see the Big 12 getting 2 teams in. I can't see it any other way. I can't see it.
No matter what happens in non-conference or anything.
BYU has the rider with Notre Dame, so I would say BYU would get the benefit of the doubt if that happened to be the loss. That essentially represents 2 conference losses or out of conference losses. But no, other than that, I don't think. Tell me one other game outside of BYU Notre Dame that carries any gravitas for the Big 12.
Well, I'm biased as all get out, but
give it to me. What's your bias?
Oh, KU, Mizzou, Kansas, Missouri. That's going to be some good old-fashioned hate, and we're basically playing in half a stadium this year.
Right.
But they're going to be the loudest 25,000 people you've ever heard in your life.
Okay. All right.
That I'm actually, there are a lot of KU fans that are split on this, but I'm thrilled it's back. There's an entire generation that doesn't understand how can I put this? How dispolite or impolite you're supposed to be to each other.
Dispolite. I'm not sure that's English, but I get what you're saying for sure.
Oh, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Really, really looking forward to that one.
Okay.
All
right.
Other than that, places I didn't realize BYU's. I've been talking about coming out to Utah, but BYU's playing at Lawrence this year.
Yes. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, Kansas is like our kryptonite. So
you're more than welcome to come into town and have some good barbecue.
I would love that if I could afford a trip to KC to watch a football game and to meet you guys, all Jayhawk fans. I would absolutely love it, but I can't afford it between the airplane and the ticket and
no airplane. You just get on I-70 and go east.
It takes like 14 years to drive from Provo to Lawrence, Kansas. Anyway, I'm just teasing.
Buddy, let me tell you, everybody should make that drive at least once across.
I've done it.
I-70.
I've done it.
If you can do that, you can stare into the sun for 7 hours.
I went to Minnesota through, North Dakota and South Dakota on the way back through Wyoming. And then up to, do I have it right up to Minnesota? Anyway, regardless, it's a long, across South Dakota. Takes like 19 years and daylight savings time changes 5 times. So
pretty much.
Okay. All right, to town.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for calling. No, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you helping me fight through this procedure the dentist did to my mouth. So.
Oh man, no, the dentist. Dentists like they are a special kind of torture.
Sadist.
Certified.
They are sadists. They are absolutely sadists. Okay. Thank you so much, Town Hawk. We'll talk to you. We will talk to you or see you Friday night.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Okay. See you later. And I just recalled that actually I'm going to be doing a members only show either tomorrow or Thursday. I haven't picked the day, but it's fun.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, the Ryan Willie. How we doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
But this Brendan Sorsby thing,
right?
I think his lawyer basically wants to get all his money by legal fees because if he's continuing to sue, I don't think he has a leg to stand on versus the NFL and the supplemental draft. It's just a waste of time and money.
Okay.
They have the right to basically let in who they want to let in. It's a privilege, not a right to play in the NFL.
Right.
Just like any other pro league or even NCAA.
Right. Yes.
Or even high schools. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you should get a free pass.
I don't disagree.
And this Kessler dude is just wasting money. And I honestly think that the FBI should look into Sorsby's activities over the last few years, but because of Cody Campbell's connections with the Trump administration, I don't think that'll happen.
Okay.
I just wish this story would just go away. And
yeah,
I honestly don't think that he's going to be drafted in April. And I went on to Rock's live stream and said that I don't even think he would be assigned as an unrestricted free agent, undrafted free agent. I mean,
I'm sorry. Rock was raging?
No. I went on to Rock's live stream at the news came out that and said that I don't think that he'll be drafted or even signed by an NFL team as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, he can't.
This,
So now he can't do anything until next spring, right? He
right.
can apply for the NFL draft, but there is no guarantee they allow him into then that. And if either way, the NFL will have to rule on his eligibility for 2027.
And I don't, because of his past, I don't think he's going to be get into the NFL.
Should he be punished? No. Sorry, let me say it a different way. Don't we? The United States is a culture of forgiveness, right? You make a mistake, you
Right,
correct
but you're
it.
talking about you're talking about the integrity of the sport, though.
No, I get it. You're right. Yeah, I'm not trying to minimize that. I'm just trying to see through it and see, what could be the outcome. That's all I'm asking.
Well, I just don't think that he should
Okay.
be drafted, and I don't think he will.
Okay.
I just, and I think his lawyer should just let it be.
Yeah, well, he wants to cash checks. So at
Right.
some point he's gonna have to catch on with somebody if they're gonna get paid.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you. I
Great.
appreciate you calling in. It's always great to hear from you, Ryan.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
He is Ryan the Willie, super fan of the Wisconsin Badgers and the Big Ten. Ryan, I appreciate you so much, and tons of respect for schools in the Big Ten, for that matter, any conference, that have to fight every year to get attention. All right.
Call from.
Daniel.
Hang on a
To
second.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Can you hear me, Daniel?
I can hear you there, Nate.
All right. Yeah. My screen, I don't know if you use this, but you can, the monitors, you can split them into pieces.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I cannot get, I don't know why. Oh, maybe that'll do it. Maybe I had zoomed in too far. All right. Anyway, what's going on, Daniel? It's great to hear from you.
Okay. Let's do some history on supplemental draft.
Okay.
First, a player has to be deemed ineligible, like Terrell Pryor, who did nothing more than what thousands of other players did, but he just got caught. Or
Okay.
Jalen Thompson was the last one picked. He was a safety out of Washington State, had a failed drug test, but the way that the NCAA does drug tests is almost Olympic level. The NFL is completely different because it was a non-steroidal supplement that he was taking at Washington State. The NFL was different. So that's something completely different. That was in 2019. That was the last time that there was a supplemental.
Okay.
Teams, if a player says, I want to go into the supplemental draft, certain teams have to go to the NFL commissioner's office and say, yes, we will want to take him.
Okay.
I don't think an NFL team contacted the office whenever Sorsby announced, hey, I want to go supplemental. I don't think an NFL team wants to take the risk.
Okay.
Love or hate the guy, Mike Florio over the weekend was talking about Sorsby was supplemental, and he couldn't get anybody on the record to say yes or no, with the exception of Cleveland and one other team that they don't want to go on the record, but nobody wanted to say yes or no. Cleveland already said no. We don't want to touch him.
Okay.
I truly believe that there isn't any of the 32 NFL teams that want to take the risk of bringing Sorsby in, knowing that there are other things out there that might cause him to not be on a roster.
Okay.
Let's say there is a criminal indictment. You brought this guy in, you paid a roster bonus for him to come in, and now all of a sudden this guy is going to be gone for a while.
Okay.
And then also you do have integrity of the game. That's what the NFL said on there.
Okay.
And I want to say it was Top Town Talk. He brought up in The Longest Yard, where Burt Reynolds was in jail for shaving points, and everybody hated him because you could sit there and steal money, and you could do this, you could do that, but messing with a football game, that is anti-American.
Okay.
So now Sorsby, and through his attorney, wants to sue the NFL. And I'm very confident that the NFL has probably some of the best law firms in New York on retainer.
Of course.
Because they deal with suits all the time.
Right.
So they could sit there and say, hey, go away. We don't want you. Also, the NFL does have an antitrust exemption. It's different than what baseball has. It's different than what basketball has. But they do have a limited antitrust exemption that they could sit there and say, we're not going to take them. Or even if they do take them, they'll say, until you have cleared the NCAA and until you have cleared all the courts, then we will do something with a supplemental draft. But that won't happen probably until the main draft in April. And he soiled his name so much, even in April. What team would be desperate enough to take all that baggage? There might be none, especially considering you've got quite a number of quarterbacks coming out that have talent.
Yeah, I don't know. We wouldn't know, right? Until
we don't. And we don't know how risk averse a owner, general manager, front office staff would be to bring this guy in. Now, for the first time in the history of the college football mafia, I got a prediction right where I said that I had the same chance as Sorsby being on an NFL roster for 2026. All my predictions have been wrong. This is the first time in the history of the college football mafia I got one right.
You got it. I'll give you an award in class for that, Daniel. Well done.
No, my predictions are garbage.
Okay.
I'm always wrong.
Okay. All right.
So, even like I said, Kessler, I don't know what Kessler charges an hour, but let's just say that he's pretty high priced. I know the NFL lawyers are high priced too.
Sure.
He's not playing in NFL this year. No way.
No, he can't at this point.
No.
He can't. Next year he has to appeal.
Yeah.
To try to get in.
And you're bringing up the Canadian football, and you're bringing up the UFL. The UFL season ended a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic. I was being
Canadian
sarcastic.
football is in week 5. They've locked their rosters in. The only way that they can bring another player in is if there's an injury, and then there's waivers and all this other stuff. And Canadian football is structured differently. Let's say he even goes onto a CFL roster, he won't play this season either.
Okay.
So he's stuck. And nobody wants to touch him because they know that he's sued everybody.
Got it.
So, okay, Nate.
Thank you. Daniel, it's great to see you.
All right, bye.
Appreciate you. Have a great night. He is Daniel, the other guy, Gax, in the house. Appreciate you, Daniel. So, thanks so much for being here tonight. Old Dad says, gotta go. Take care of mafiosos. Thank you so much, Old Dad. Peace to you, brother. Great to see you, and I really appreciate your loyalty and how active you become in the college football mafia. Extremely loyal, and I'm very grateful for everything for us.
Call from
David.
Sorry, I didn't do that. Who's this?
This is David,
David.
first time caller.
Excellent. First time caller, long time listener. How you doing? It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's great to be on here. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course. Yeah. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to say that I'm glad the Sorsby saga is over.
Me
I'm
too.
over that dude, and it's time to move on. And he's not going to continue. He's going to continue to sue the NFL probably and some other nonsense. Anybody else he can sue.
Right.
Enough of him.
Okay. I like that.
Let's enough of him. Let's get on to real news. All right.
Let's go. Let's get to some news.
Because the College Football Act or whatever that thing is that they're trying to do up there in Congress.
Protect College Sports Acts. Yep.
Yeah, well, it's not protecting anything. First off, there's your first problem.
You're right. I agree with that. Yes.
Second of all, I somewhat follow politics, so I'm not going to get into politics here.
Okay.
But I'm going to say Cantwell obviously doesn't know her butt from a hole in the ground, and she has contradicted herself. She didn't do anything of what she said she was going to do. She doesn't understand anything about anything. All right. You can't get 138 teams on 5 networks on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. You don't even understand simple math.
Yeah.
You don't even understand simple math. All right. And like I said, don't know that much about her, but that situation there is obvious.
Are you in her district? Let's see. Cantwell, is she
No,
from Washington State?
I'm not in either one of them's district.
Okay.
As far as Cruz, that's a very, very smart dude. All right. He was a very successful U.S. attorney. He's written several bills in his time in Congress or in the Senate. Okay. This is not a stupid dude. This bill is written so stupidly that this thing it's meant to fail. Understand that. It's meant to fail. At some point, this thing fails. Even if it goes through the whole process and they push this thing through, okay, this thing will go straight from the president's desk straight to the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
there's no way.
I see.
There's no way
happening.
The Big Ten. There's no way the Big Ten and the SEC are going to allow this atrocity to happen. First off, the very first thing they in the bill, one of the things that they do right off the rip is violate the First Amendment of the Constitution. I'm sorry, freedom of assembly is a real thing in the Constitution.
Right.
All right. You're saying that not only can the Big Ten and the SEC not add any more members, that nobody can even go to them even if they wanted to.
Right.
That is called freedom of the assembly. Okay? You can assemble those anybody you want. Okay? You're telling them that somebody can't. You tell them Miami and Duke, who very badly want to be in the Big Ten, that they can't do it. That they're going to get that thing's going straight to the Supreme Court, no doubt about it. And they will overturn that thing. And just because Congress passed a bill doesn't mean it's legal. That's why you have a Supreme Court.
So nothing goes straight to the Supreme Court. There are steps, right? So What do you happen to know what those steps are?
Well, they would have to file in the district, if I'm not mistaken, they'd have to file in the District of Columbia. They have to file in D.C.
Okay.
And then it would go to a court. It would go probably to a court there.
Okay.
And seeing how this is, going to be made law, that's over that's a lower court, and that would automatically get kicked up to the Supreme Court because the lower court can't change or get rid of a law. That would have to come from the Supreme Court. That's why there's a judicial branch, a legislative branch, and the executive branch.
Okay.
This thing isn't going to make it, dude. It's not going to make it. And don't get your jock straps in a twist, guys. This thing isn't going to make it. And I got bad news for all you people in the Big 12. Okay, sorry, Bomber, but
it's all right.
The ACC isn't going to make it. If the ACC isn't going to make it, the Big 12 ain't going to make it. Okay.
Okay, and when define what gonna make it means.
I mean, it means one way or another, you're going to end up with a power two.
Okay.
That's where this thing is headed.
Okay.
That's where this thing is headed. And let me spell it out for you. Let's go back a few years. Let's go back to, I'm a Buckeye, by the way.
Okay,
I'm
great.
a Buckeye. Okay.
Awesome. Yep.
So the team up north is now referred to as scum. Okay.
Okay.
Scum,
okay.
Scum
right.
cheated for 3 years.
Okay.
What did the NCAA do about that?
Yeah,
what did the NCAA do about nothing?
Nothing. They didn't do it, but we predicted they wouldn't do anything, so it wasn't a surprise.
They did nothing.
Yeah.
What did they do? Now I hate to go back to this because we just talked about it at the very beginning of this phone call, right? Let's go back to the Sorsby situation. What did they do there?
What do you mean? You lost me.
What did the NCAA do about Sorsby?
Well, I mean, they ruled him ineligible.
Okay, but when he sued him, right, and then he won in court, what did they do?
Yeah.
What did they do? Nothing.
Well,
they should have filed 24 to 48 hours after that ruling. They should have had something ready to go to say, no, this doesn't happen, buddy. And they didn't do that. Not only did they not do that, they didn't even issue a statement on it. Okay? The NCAA is not interested in ruling over college football. They're not. They've done everything that they can to tell you without coming out and telling you they are not interested in ruling and doing anything with college football. They're not interested. Okay? They're hands off.
Right.
They're hands off. And the Congress, because this bill is so poorly written, they're telling you the exact same thing. We don't want anything to do with it. We're going to make it look like we're doing something. We're going to write up this really horrible bill.
Right.
And if they pass it, that tells me without a doubt that they don't want anything to do with it because they know it's going to end up in the Supreme Court and that thing's going to get hacked to flipping pieces like it's on a Friday the 13th movie.
Well, okay, so let me interrupt you there just for a second. So it made it out of committee. Now it goes technically after debate would go to the floor of the Senate. And if it passes there, then it has to go to reconciliation. Some bill comes out of the House. And once those two things come out, then they negotiate a final bill. And then all of Congress votes on that. And then it goes to the president. So we're a ways away yet from even having anything actionable.
Well, I mean, they're wanting to push this thing through in the next 60 days. I mean, if they got their ducks in a row.
Yeah, they can want whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want in 24 hours if they want to do it bad enough.
Well, sure.
But like I said, this thing is so poorly written.
Right.
It's so poorly written that they know they know where this thing's going. The Congress is telling you, hey, first off, it's too complex of a thing for Congress to deal with. These are people that have a 12% approval rating. Congress has like a 12% approval rating. Okay.
Yeah.
They can't even balance the budget of this country.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody that thought that they could fix this, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I hate to call people, but you're an idiot. You thought Congress was going to fix college football. They're not going to fix it. They're not going to fix it. They're telling that, and I'm going to drop some more news on you here, that I've heard this back in 2019. I heard this. And when I heard it, I'm like, this is crazy. This can never happen. I don't know how this would even work. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what state that this took place in because I want to protect the person who put this information out.
Okay.
Okay. I was talking to my nephew back in 2019, and he had just come back from a vacation back to the state where he had gone to high school in.
Okay.
And it is a very big, one of the major football states in the country.
Okay.
His former high school coach now works for a major media group that we all probably watch on Saturday at least once.
Okay.
In the radio part of that. So he told him back in 2019 that college football in 10 years would no longer be underneath the NCAA. I'm like, that's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Understand this. That tells you one thing. That that these networks, ESPN and Fox, all right, they've already talked about this. They've already got a plan. They've had it in place for a long time. They've already figured out all of the X's and O's for this thing. In the next few years, college football will not be underneath the NCAA. The NCAA doesn't want anything to do with it. Congress doesn't want anything to do with it. All right, you're seeing everybody needs to quit resisting the 2-league super league, because if you take what is now the Power 4 plus some of the independents, right? And you're going to have to do more than 24 teams in each. You'd have to be able to make that league work, right? And then to go to a 24-team playoff, right? You would need probably at least 32 teams in each of those leagues.
Right.
Okay. Now, the next thing that needs to be figured out is, I don't know what the heck we call them now. We used to call them mid-majors. Now they're the group of 6 or group of 5. Nobody can even agree on what we call them. All right.
Right.
Something has to be done with that group. All right. You essentially have 3 tiers. You have 3 tiers, and it has to be acknowledged. If you're going to fix the problem, you have an 800-pound gorilla staring you in the face that you have to deal with. I'm sorry, somebody's going to get left out, and I hate to see that. I hate to see a Wake Forest get left out. I especially hate to see Oregon State and Washington State get left out, but that's already happened. Maybe somehow they get pulled back into the fray. I hope that could happen, you know. But the Big Ten has certain rules, and I don't know if they're willing to flex to give a little bit on those rules. Maybe they would just for football, but we all know that how the Big Ten does things. If you're not an AAU school, you're not coming into the Big Ten. You're not coming in. It's just that simple.
Okay.
And that's why they took a Maryland and a Rutgers, and it left you scratching your head, because they're only going to take AAU schools. Maybe if you go to a super league, maybe they allow some teams, some schools to come in just as football and nothing else.
Okay.
But
we need to start wrapping this up.
I'm done, brother. I got it wrapped up. It's all done.
All right. Very good. I just want to let you know, I think your assessment is spot on. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to who is participating in the final decision and who's not, and who's enabled and who's not. And right now, that still is an open question.
I think you have to put a group of like commissioners together, a board.
Yeah, that.
It's going to have to be. Everybody hates this, but it's the only way it's going to work is NFL like. It's an AFC, NFC type of deal, and then You have a group, you have one person at the top, and I would like to nominate Jim Tressel as the head of the college football to get that done. He's the best dude. I don't want Saban anywhere near that. He's too divested into the SEC and all that.
Okay. All right. We'll call it good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for being a new time watcher, and make sure you subscribe and stick around.
I've been subscribed. I've been subscribed for a while.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you later. Okay. Bye. All right. Bye-bye. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I appreciate that. It's always great to hear new people come along and call the call. Here we go.
Call from
Jeff Fuller.
Jeff Fuller, how we doing, man? Mr.
Hey.
Self.
Yeah, great. Doing great, Bomber. How's it going?
I'm doing okay. I had kind of a tough deal at the dentist today. I don't know about you, but I hate the dentist. And makes my mouth all numb, and I just don't do well because it dries my mouth out and it makes things tough. So anyway, what's going on?
This too shall pass.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Just loving the show. Interesting comments. So happy to be done with the Sorsby situation. Hopefully, I'm glad the Big 12 didn't drop the filing or drop the case, so they still have a standing just in case Sorsby tries to pull an okey doke and say, "Oh, I can't go to the NFL draft. Gotta come back through."
Can you explain that strategy to me? Because when they first announced it, what was that, Saturday or Sunday, that they weren't going to drop that, I was a little confused, and since then it still has confused me. Why keep it going, and two, what is the next steps? I mean, you can't leave something open forever.
Well, sure. I mean, the case is filed. I think they wanted to make sure that he actually went in the NFL draft, like they said.
Okay.
Because if he does that, and that's the other thing, I guess it was, they wanted to make sure he dropped the case so he could become ineligible again.
Right.
And but could they pick up the case again? Could they sort of get him through? And so I think the fact that the Big 12 has that case sort of still pending and
right.
still hanging over the situation, that's just a deterrent for them sort of refiling because the writing's on the wall and there was such public approval for the Big 12's actions and such an outcry about the possibility of Sorsby playing from all camps except from Lubbock, that it's good to have that on record and on file, and just sort of the deterrent right there.
Is it, and does it expire, or what's the end game for it?
Again, I don't know the
okay, that's fine.
That's Dallas federal court. I don't know what the response time is that they have to respond, or one thing that lawyers are incredible about is delaying things.
Right. Well, they get paid more.
Know that.
They get paid more money the longer things go. So there's no doubt about that.
And a lot of problems do sort of fix themselves and go away with delay. So I understand the tactic, but there is a quote unquote billable hours factor there.
Absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to a few things.
Please,
the Buckeye caller,
go ahead.
I didn't catch his name, but I mean it was essentially maybe there's some nerd old school Star Trek fans of it sort of sounds like the Borg. You will resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. Just don't even put up a fight. Just accept what's going on, and it's par for the course. And he said and a lot of people have heard this sort of master plan that the big media companies and the big conferences have had to create a super league. They're trying to create a super league. They're going to call
Well,
it
they
something
keep
different.
saying
They're going to
that
say it's
over
two
and
super
over. Yeah.
conferences. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh no, this is not a super league. There is a grand master plan. And
Right.
I know that sounds conspiracy level, but no, I mean it's blatantly clear. The Big Ten is the puppet of Fox, and the SEC is the puppet of ESPN, and they're not weak puppets. They're complicit, but they are doing the bidding of those media companies, and they're all laughing all the way to the bank. What's people say, oh, pooling media rights. What's this? How are you going to make more money with pooling media rights? And it's like, why do you think that white paper came out that the SEC and the Big Ten were quote unquote against pooling media rights? Well, it's because their media partners told them, you oppose this. You have to oppose this,
Right.
because media companies will pay more money if all the conferences can and collectively go to the bargaining table with one set of media rights. And yes, you can shop them out in different, all the conferences can sort of have their preferred partners. All the conferences can still keep their networks. All the conferences can still keep their increased percentage. We're not talking about, we hear about communism and socialism, and the media rights are going to be evenly split between Ohio State and Kent State. There's nothing in this bill. No one has ever suggested anything of the sort, but people are propagandizing and going, a lot of fear mongering about what this bill means. But when you do pool media rights, Fox is going to have to pay more. ESPN is going to have to pay more. They pay a whole lot more for the NBA. They pay a whole lot more for the NFL. Why? They love that they're getting college football on the cheap now, and they don't want to lose it. So they're hanging on like crazy to everything they can. And the SEC and Big Ten, they're complicit. They're willing partners because they're going to get a bump if they get this the de facto super league through. They're going to get a bump in pay. But the SEC, the ESPN and Fox will pay them a little bit more. They'll be able to cut out, everyone else. And as they take away some of the bigger brands, and ask yourself the question, name the conference or conferences that are stronger today than they were 5 years ago.
Right.
Look throughout any of the conferences in the FBS. None of them are stronger today except the SEC and the Big Ten. And again, I don't think people think that's illegal or well, there's an argument to be made that if there is this Grand Master Plan and they're executing this Grand Master Plan on a slow play, that it is antitrust behavior, that it is collusion, and that it is, it's not legal to do that, and that things are going to end up in the courts one way or the other.
Right.
This bill that's going through, they say, oh, go ahead and pass it. It won't stand up to legal scrutiny.
Scrutiny. Yep.
But so I mean, I could go on and probably already have.
No. Look, everybody gets their piece, right? I've given quite a few people an opportunity to voice all their ideas and concerns and anything else. Let me just ask you a question. Looking forward now is what do we got? A little under 2 months, or was it 7 weeks to the first games? Oh, I guess, where are we at? July. So we're 2 months away from the first games. Are we in a better position to have a strong college football season in 2026? Or is gambling, Sorsby, everything else going to be undermined because we've had this crazy offseason?
I mean, off season is off season. Right now, I don't know, the clicks, the views. We're our class of fan are highly engaged and are following every little bit we can. But most people are tuned out. They're watching World Cup. They're on the lake. They're on their vacations. I don't know if this
is currently what's happened in the off season and is majorly destructive to this upcoming season. But one of the things that has been blatantly clear is that there are forces and certain talking points that as soon as this bill came out, it was quote unquote this is horrible, this is the worst thing, this is dead on arrival.
Right,
and
we got a lot of that. People just making declarations, trying to kill any messaging at all.
Exactly, and that's the key point, is like, this bill is not complete. Okay,
right.
This bill has gone through some markups. There were amendments made. Some of them were very silly. Most of those that were made and were silly were not added to the bill. I agree. Some of this stuff is like, oh, we need to use the media rights to increase money to pay everyone more, pay women's sports more, but we can't let streamers come in. And people, and mainly on the Democratic side, just don't understand sort of how the capitalism works there, as far as you've got to allow bidders, you've got to allow everyone to come to the table if you want to get your maximum media rights, and you can't say no streaming, no paywalls at all. I mean, that's pie in the sky, and that is not a provision of this bill. That and people are talking about, like, oh, this is definitely in the bill, and if this bill passes,
fear mongering,
we can't.
Jeff. You and I both know they're trying to scare people into making poor decisions.
Yeah, and the senators, and they're talking to their constituents. They want to get reelected. They're saying the things that they know their core base wants to hear, in their state or nationally if they have higher aspirations.
That's right.
But they're going to say things that they know that won't get passed and won't get in the bill. And we hear them, we're like, oh, we all agree that's stupid. Or 90+% of them, us who are in the college football world, agree that's stupid. And so those things aren't going to go in. But, this bill, it went through markup. But even when it gets to the floor, it'll be discussed. There will be revisions made before there's a vote in the Senate. If it passes the Senate, which it has a reasonable chance to do, apparently, it goes to the House. And revisions are made in the House. It's marked up in the House. And so, there's this sort of process where the Senate and the House of Representatives, they work together on making changes, making modifications, and before things are signed into law, say it does pass, there are still chances to modify and to change, and the fact that people don't want to hear that, people don't want to realize it's like they've decided this bill is horrible and never has a chance. It's not worth trying to save. It's not worth trying to improve. And I want people to ask themselves why that is. Why are some people so against the bill? They'll vilify Cody Campbell, which I'm not the hugest fan of his tactics in much of this process, and he does make an easy villain. But some people are essentially saying, well, Cody Campbell obviously paid off Ted Cruz to just push this bill through. It's like, Ted Cruz is a senator in Texas. He has way more voters, donors.
Right. It's not just,
if he was going to be paid off,
football.
The Texas and Texas A&M fan bases are much. I mean, we're talking order of magnitude, possibly.
Yes.
In financial power.
That's right.
Compared to the Texas Tech fan base, and so that doesn't pass the smell test. That weak little Ted Cruz got paid off by one billionaire, where I'm sure he has hundreds of billionaires. Who have influence over him through donations. And so
I completely agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. I think that's right.
Yeah, the reason they're against it is because of what we just talked about earlier. They already have their plan. They already know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And ESPN and Fox are using the SEC and the Big Ten to execute their plan, where they can have some pretty amazing games that'll get great viewership, but there's going to be fewer of them. In the end, they're going to lose a significant portion of their viewership of the college football world. And, sure, ESPN and Fox will get out even cheaper, but, at a great loss to the college football world in general, at a great loss over time to their own product. And, at an even greater loss, we're not even talking about the Democratic side and the Cantwell side of, there's 500,000 student athletes who, most of who want this bill to pass, want these protections. And it's, you can look at who is for this bill and who is against it. And it's a pretty small list of who is blatantly against it. And we can all point out stupid things in the bill. I've used the analogy, this bill is a crap sandwich right now. But, sometimes you got to eat a crap sandwich to go on to the net, to get something done. And, crap sandwich tastes crappy, but it'll keep you alive.
I was a big proponent, and I think you know this, for a year and a half. Cody, I interviewed Cody. I really support activists supporting their schools. He happens to do Texas Tech, but in general, I think I'm a big supporter of anybody that supports their schools, and you put as much political and money will behind them. I say good on you. But where he went sideways, in my opinion, and he lost me, and I don't know about anybody else, but when they went from you could opt in to all this legislation and amending the SBA or not, you don't have to do that, to now forcing everybody, that really, that is not the way I think things should be done. There's other ways to get people to move and negotiate. You give up something to get something. And instead, they went directly to the mandates. And I have a natural aversion to mandates. So I think at the end of the day, they were trying to get a lot of things done in a short amount of time. And in my opinion, I think they should have been more patient, maybe done it in 2 or 3 bills. But at the end of the day, we are where we are now.
Yeah, and exactly, ask yourself why it's happened this way. The SCORE Act never had a chance, never, came back, was never revised, never had bipartisan support, because it's essentially a bill of, the Big Ten, the SEC saying, here's our wish list of everything we want, to give it to us.
All they wanted was their antitrust exemption. They don't really care anything else. That's all they wanted, is their free pass and to be able to own the athletes again. That's the whole point of what they're trying to do with the SCORE Act.
Yeah, and I understand you have to have rules, you have to have guardrails, and if that can be, if that's what it takes to get an antitrust exemption through this, current bill, Protects College Sports Act,
right.
Then they're gonna, they shouldn't be wonderfully happy with whatever bill comes through. When one side is wonderfully happy, it's
no, it should be both sides.
Screwed.
Yeah, both sides should be getting screwed at the exact same time. There's no doubt about that, for sure.
Yeah. And the last caller said, anyone who goes and asks, Congress for help on this is an idiot. It's like, has he not paid attention? I mean, Sankey has been begging, Petiti, they've been begging, all the conference commissioners have been begging Congress for help, for protection on this. And, they've all gone, I agree that Congress, this is an unfortunate situation that we're in. And if we had good leadership from the top, once the SEC and the Big Ten threatened to break away, and the freshman commissioners of Phillips and Yormark, caved and said, okay, you have control of the playoff, that set the tone. And, they're Big Ten, the SEC, they're just going back to that playbook of, well, all I need to do is threaten and bully, and I'll get power and I'll get my way. And that's why we're at this point where we are now.
I think that Brett Yormark was naive and he came in at a horrible time for these negotiations, and he was absolutely taken advantage of. Hindsight being 2020, I think we now realize that the SEC and Big Ten did not really have as much power as they've now claimed. And the full bending over of the ACC and the Big 12 to the Big Ten and the SEC didn't have to happen. And now that it has, we have to deal with that future going forward.
Yeah, and you know, obviously they were naive, but I think they thought they were doing something in good faith that had maybe a quid pro quo on the other end, or at least a promise of building relationship capital. And it's like, these conferences have proved time and again they will stab you in the back if it profits them even a little bit. And
yeah, you know, they got taken advantage of and exploited, and it screwed the rest of us.
I mean,
Jeff, so
thank you to Texas and Oklahoma from while negotiating the playoff format with Bowlesby right behind the back. He took their two top brands. So the alliance that Kevin Warren formed with the Pac-12 and the ACC.
Right.
That alliance was formed, and then a few months later, USC and UCLA gone to the Big Ten. A year later, as part of the Graham Plan, Oregon and Washington as well. I mean, it's just sickening. It's pitiful to watch the process, and they.
What, Jeff? I lost you.
Oh no, I'm still here. Sorry.
We lost you at the end there. You trailed off.
Okay. Yeah. Just essentially, it's just pitiful to see the process and how and why it's come to here. And I think we're all sick of and sad that it's come to this. But with great power comes great responsibility, and the SEC and the Big Ten have shirked their responsibility. I think a good solution is say no Power 4 conference can put a timeout, say 10 years, no expansion from other Power 4 conference schools. Anyone can add a G4 school or Notre Dame if they want to, but essentially say a timeout. You've proven that you're not going to act in good faith for the good of the sport. You're only going to act in good faith, in your interest. So you're being put in timeout. 10 years, no P4 can add any other P4 team to their conference, but and then reassess things in a decade. That's one compromise solution.
That's one idea. I like promotion relegation. There's a bunch of ideas that are out there, though, that I think what we really need is a 2-year break to really analyze what the best system would be, and then to get a consensus instead of just shoving stuff down people's throats. Because at the end of the day, the only ones that have benefited from that system and that will continue to benefit from that system is the Big Ten and the SEC. So.
Oh yeah, yep. As we've seen.
All right.
I want to appreciate the time and the platform.
Yeah, Jeff, just really quick, just so everybody knows, Jeff and I, it'll be not on. We're going to do some magic. We're going to revive our BYU Utah channel for this season.
Holy Rivals.
The Holy Rivals. Yep, I got to get the login and got to get some branding put back on there. But we are going to run College Football Mafia at the same time. Jeff and I and maybe some other people, we're going to run some very specific Utah and BYU content in this upcoming season. And I would just tell everybody be on the lookout for that, because Jeff's going to help me build it. We've got other people that would like to participate. So hopefully between now and the first game of the season, we can get this thing going. Holy Rivals channel, maybe we'll deal with some new branding. But I'm looking forward to that, and I appreciate Jeff being willing to work on that with me.
Yeah, looking forward to it and happy to help in any way I can.
Excellent. It'll be fun, Jeff. I appreciate it. Go Cougs. We'll talk to you later.
All right, go Cougs. All
Okay,
right,
bye-bye. He is Jeff V. Fuller, another super fan of the BYU Cougars. I know I always say this every single week. But again, this was the fastest 2 hours that I've sat down in a very, very, very long time. And we have covered a bunch of ground, but mostly it's been listening session to hear from you guys. Let me get to some super chats that have been lingering for quite a while. Ryan Willie, $5 super chat earlier. I totally disagree with Jeff Fuller. You can't force ESPN or Fox to pay more. I'm not sure that's what Jeff was saying. Maybe he was. I didn't catch that. But you're right, Ryan, that you can't force anybody to do anything, honestly. But yeah, I don't disagree. We shouldn't be talking about forcing people to do anything. Let's see here. Stormy Cyclones. Oh, wait, that goes all the way back to Stormy Cyclones. Gifted membership. So we have been doing this for 2 hours. I appreciate everybody being here for this long. I don't know what else you got going in your evenings, but I appreciate you being here on a Tuesday night. I will now, this is what we're going to do moving forward. Super chats will keep me around. I've hit my 2 hour time limit. Super chats will keep me around, and phone calls will keep me around. So drawbridge is going up. I'm going to turn the phone lines back on. And once we have a bit of a pause in either phone calls or super chats, we'll wrap it up and get out the door and prepare for our next show tomorrow or Thursday. So let me turn the phone lines back on for really quick. First, I want to thank everybody that's joined us, called in, and participated. All of your comments and questions, I really appreciate those. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, get involved on the College Football Mafia and all of its requisite channels, not channels, but shows and short videos, member videos, live member videos. And then, of course, we have our feature shows, Big Freaking Friday on Friday evenings. And on Sundays, we do have the Moen After Dark / Rock and Rant from College Football Express. That's a Sunday evening show that goes at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This every Friday comes up. We have Big Freaking Friday, and that also usually runs for a couple hours. Well, 2 hours plus at least at the college. At College Football Mafia. I appreciate everybody that participates and contributes to that. Mostly, again, you fans. But thank you so much for doing this and being here with us. We wouldn't do it if you guys weren't here driving us to do it. I want to quickly shout out all those that have helped keep our show going this off season. It has been crazy, and each one of you is vital to get through challenges that we've had this off season. And we want to recognize all those people and make sure they understand we are only here because of you guys. So moving forward, the rest of this evening, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, turn on your notifications on YouTube and on Twitter. I keep saying Twitter, I mean X. Anything else you can do that has to do with our weekly shows, College Football Mafia, that's what we do. And I appreciate everybody that helps us get through those giant calls on Twitter or on X, as it were, or our shows and the videos associated with those shows. If you're watching or would like to participate in the rest of the show tonight, make it a super chat or call in, and either one of those will help keep me around. Otherwise, we will soon wrap this show up and And then I would encourage everybody follow everybody at the College Football Mafia, but especially whatever we see for viewership or participation on our College Football Mafia channel. That is a big deal for us. And we want to thank each one of you guys for driving that content. Sorry, I couldn't talk. Oh my gosh. Okay, I might just have to pull it. I apologize, like a little Tourette's attack there. So wow, that was not cool. I'm sorry, everybody. I've just had bad reactions tonight to my dentist. I have no excuse. You guys deserve better. Thank you so much for being with me. All right. I will take calls and turn the phone lines back on right now. And I'm going to be complaining to my dentist because that is not okay. My wife is going to be mad at me. Anyway, call in right now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. We'll talk about anything else you guys want to talk about or super chats. I appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. Mark Soligrel, thank you very much. Maybe it is, I'm just tired and it's bad reaction, whatever. But I turn the phones back on and I want to thank you guys for being patient with me tonight. Daniel says we're close to 6,000 subs. That's what we're pushing for, to get to 6,000, then 7,000 subs. Please be a part of that. Tell everybody about the channel. Tell everybody about our shows and become a new supporter yourself, and we will get you up, I promise.
Call from
Evil Badger.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail. Call from
Rock and Rant.
Rock and Rant. Sorry, Ryan Willie, you just got dropped. I think somehow, some way, Rock and Rant kicked you out. That wasn't my fault.
Let me hang up and let Ryan go first. I'll call back later. I always got access.
Well, no, you can. Yeah, just stay with me. Rock, why don't you just join the show? And in the meantime, Ryan, call me back and I will get you back on. That was really weird. Well, it's a Tuesday night. That's the only thing I can say. Nothing is going too far, but that's kind of what we do around here anyway. I kind of cause all kinds of trouble. Let's see. Devil Frog, the original. He and I started this Mafia thing, if in name only, if nothing else, 3+ years ago. And I've always appreciated Devil Frog for doing that. Thanks for being here. And here we go. Here's Ryan.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, Ryan Willie. Thanks for calling back.
Thanks for taking my call. I have a counter to what Jeff had to say about the PCSA.
Right.
It's totally. It just doesn't. It's not legal. It's communism basically, and I don't have a problem seeing it because you can't force someone to not be able to go to somewhere they want to go to. Like Miami wants to come to the BigTen, and that stops them. It even stops the Big 12 or ACC from expanding. And there's no, in economics, if you try to pull all the money for 138 schools, and there's no way that Fox and ESPN is going to be able to come up with a lot more money to pay for all those schools to make it worthwhile. And if you're forcing everybody under one umbrella, that's communism, and it's government control, which I do not like. In economics 101, you don't have the same the more people you have bidding, the more money you make. The less people you have bidding, the less money you make.
Well, not necessarily, Ryan.
I've taken economics.
I'm not arguing facts. I'm not arguing economics. One thing that hasn't been tapped into yet, so nobody can with any certitude claim, is that the pooling of, say, the top 72 brands in all of college football, do you have just as much as I can't prove an affirmative, you can't prove a negative. Until we experience it and try to put it through, nobody knows what that value would go up to. In my opinion, I think the value does go up with the top 72 brands. And I think the sum is way more valuable than its requisite parts.
But then you have 138 teams in FBS right now.
Right.
There's no way that everyone's going to make money off of it. And there's way you can put 138 teams on 5 networks.
Yeah, so
And
I mean, we're talking about multiple things, Ryan, right? You're talking about the pooling of 138 schools and getting them together and putting them into broadcast windows and whether that will make money or not for the whole group. And what I'm saying is, one, I don't think 138 will work. I think it has to be barely half, a little over half of all the brands.
So basically what you're saying is half the teams that have football programs now would cease to exist.
What I'm saying now is that it would be like a new division, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. And the reason I say it's Division 1, 2, and 3 is because I do not believe that anything will skirt Congress's control unless they at least account for half of all of FBS.
But the problem is, Nate, if government gets involved, it's going to screw everything up for everyone.
I don't disagree with that. Government doesn't do anything right. I agree with that. Yes.
And it's teetering on communism right now.
Okay. Yeah, and you and I disagree with the term, but I understand what you're saying. Yes.
The government should not be dictating in anybody's business.
But the government dictates stuff all the time. Speed limits. It dictates taxes. It dictates all of the social welfare programs. It dictates your driver's license. Of course it dictates. The government dictates stuff more than it doesn't dictate stuff in everybody's life, Ryan.
But these are private. As far as the NFL goes, it's a private business.
Yeah, but NFL isn't college and universities, though, right?
So like Greg said a couple of days ago, the government gives universities money, but they can't really dictate how they do the research.
Okay, I'm not talking about research dollars.
But my point is that they can dictate on some things, but as far as where they can only go so far as with the universities, and they can't really dictate on who they accept and who they don't accept in the colleges and all of that. But
yeah, it's all on a sliding scale is what I would say. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Ryan. In no way, shape, or form am I saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is there's a little bit of truth all along the way. I don't think it's one answer. I think it's 9,000 answers. And trying to take one piece of legislation and cover up all of these problems that is the ship of college sports, nobody can say with certitude that it's all one thing or all another, because we've never tried this before.
And I believe there's too many FBS teams in the NCAA right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that North Dakota State should have gone to the Mountain West Conference. I think they should have stayed in the FCS.
But nobody forced them to move, Ryan. Nobody forced them. They wanted to move so they could make more money, and play bigger football.
Right, but now with this bill, they're not going to make as much money because it's got to be divided up in 130 separate pieces of the pie.
Right, we keep going in a circle. I do not believe 138 schools works. I think it needs to be half or just a little over half. So right away, you and I are disagreeing on the original premise. I don't think 138 schools, in my opinion, this is just me, right? Who am I? But in my opinion, you need at least half of the schools involved to make anything monopoly and antitrust proof. But that's my opinion.
I'm not sure, but is Division II and Division III involved in this bill?
I have no idea. The only ones I've ever heard anybody talk about are the 138 that are in Division I right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about the others.
That's what I had to say.
I appreciate that. No, you're right.
Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, you're welcome. Hey, it's great talking to you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Have a great night. He is Ryan the Willie. And we have got a special guest, and we're going to have to unmute Rock and Rant. And everybody, if you're listening, tell me if you can hear Rock talk or not. Go ahead, Rock.
Well, you might want to mute me again, depending upon what I say.
No, I only muted you because I was getting feedback. I was hearing.
Oh, no. I mean, like, I'm just saying, going forward, some people might want me muted, right?
Oh, well, I don't care about anybody else. This is my show, so. What's going on?
Oh, just another quiet day in the world of college football creators and YouTube.
Right.
Thank you so much, Texas Tech, Brendan Sorsby, Cody Campbell. I enjoyed another dinner. Thanks to you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the money. Thanks for the ad dollars. Awesome. We're now 10 heirs again. We've all made tens of dollars. Congratulations.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, I'm a millionaire by 17 zeros, right?
Yes. Or if you count like you have 1,000,000.001 cents, right? Like you're
right. Yeah.
So a couple of things. Jeff, I get where Jeff's coming from. But to say that like there's only a few people against this bill is absolutely incorrect.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know there's bazillions people against it.
Yeah,
I know that.
and I've gotten more and more against it. The more and more he keeps talking, and the more and more Ted Cruz. So first, hey, Ted Cruz can't be bought because there's other billionaires. Right. Ted Cruz sold them his wife and his father out when it was politically convenient for no dollars for a bag of corn when he was going to help his political career. So let's be real about that. Cody Campbell and his wife were giving like not just like a little bit of money, but like $500,000 donations. So yes, do I think Ted Cruz can be bought? Of all the senators in there, he's one of the 5 I think can be most bought. So do I think there are other billionaires in his pocket too? But they don't care about this issue. Most of these guys are single issue people. So yes, he can get a lot of other billionaires' money, and most of them don't give a flying crap about whether there's a Protect College Sports Act. Right, so sorry, guys. I don't really buy that. You can't say some politicians will sell out their own family for power and money to keep their campaign going, right? Especially a constitutionalist constitutional lawyer who somehow doesn't care now about the First Amendment and freedom of association.
Yes.
So there's that. The problem, but you've identified a couple problems. This is not a communist bill, right? And it's not a good bill. It has good parts to it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it actually is you sort of identified it without knowing necessarily the one question you just got asked. The Protect College Sports Act, and I'm fine for somebody to correct me, but I've looked it up. It applies to college sports, period. Right? The NCAA world. It's not just we're talking about FBS because that's what we care about, and that's what the focus is, because that's where the money is.
Right.
That this bill is asking for an unfunded mandate to pay for Olympic sports. It's the worst type of congressional legislation, that they're requiring schools to do something, private and public, and to fund something. And by the way, the cause behind that might be great and worthy, but they're still basically saying you must do this and you must fund it. That's what they're doing. So that's the problem. The problem is we're trying to do something where essentially we have 500,000 mom and pops out there.
Yeah.
And we're asking Walmart to solve all of their problems because we let
Yeah.
Walmart get too big. Right?
Right.
But Walmart got
Right.
big because Walmart once was a mom and pop in a little place called Bentonville, Arkansas. And they kept on growing and growing and growing. Right? And
Yes.
they didn't get regulated before. And now the answer is, hey, well, to fix all of this, now we're going to stop them from doing it. And I am the last person to be a Big Ten and SEC apologist. But let me ask you this. Do you think it's okay for Boise State to also get locked in to a tier? Because unless you guarantee that this pooled media deal is going to come up and all the boats are going to rise, and yes, maybe Ohio State and Boise State wouldn't get the same amount of money, but they all get more money, and maybe the gap in tiers goes down, the gap between the biggest brand in the Big Ten and the biggest brand in the ACC goes down, but Ohio State still makes more money. And the gap between the biggest brand in the Big 12 and the best brand in the Mountain West goes down, but they're still making more money. Then you're basically saying, hey, Boise State, you very likely, as an example, if one domino fell above you, you could have gone potentially from getting from being in the Mountain West, making what that new deal is rumored around what $10 million, $8 million a year, something like that, give or take.
For the I think it said 7 to 10 was the range I saw
7 to 10 for the
last.
Mountain West, right? And then
Yeah.
then the Pac-12 now, with them in the Pac-12. I'm sorry, I'm confusing my realignment. The
Oh.
Pac-12 deal is rumored to be $10 to $14 million per year.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, but like whatever,
Yeah.
10 million, 14, 15 million. What's the
Sure.
worst you're getting in the Big 12 right now? What, 38 million? 35 million, 40 million?
Once everybody's fully funded, I think it's 43.
Right. So now you're basically
Yeah.
telling them too, hey, nobody can move ahead of you, but you can't move either. And you're now stuck at 14 million or 15 million. And you might have
Right.
been one of the first three to get a call if a domino fell above for a backfill. And now you, who are trying to compete for the playoffs, you're stuck forever too, because we're trying to make sure that water polo is funded at Davidson with the same
Right.
bill. And that's why we're in this spot. So to talk about that, everybody is that everyone is for this bill. Yes, I know you can't do everything every time, and I think you are right, and I think Jeff's right. We'd be better off with a series of smaller bills, but they're trying to do this full
Right.
level of stuff. If they would just fix this thing, maybe Jeff's idea works, right? The whole situation with excuse me real quick, the whole situation with maybe the P4 can poach each other would solve that problem to some degree and maybe get it passed, but that still doesn't solve. You're still locking in the G6.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, yeah,
From any future.
Yeah, in my opinion, the best system is something in between. It's 72, the best brands, which is essentially the A4 plus 4 schools, and they take their media rights and they are pooled and they are put out, but I would create a tiered payout system. So just because they're pooled doesn't mean everybody's getting paid the same thing. You come up with 2 or 3 tiers, and you break it down into those groups, and then you compete X number of years. A perfect solution in my mind would be a promotion relegation system. So you could get 4 to 6 schools that rotate out every 3 or 4 years. That way everybody has a chance. But this idea has always been insane, to force people, 138 schools, to force them to pull their rights. I have never been a fan of that. I was always a fan of the optional, not forcing people to do anything. I don't like forcing people to do stuff, but I would protect the game from itself. Oh, and I lost Rock. Oh, Rock, you're back. Okay, sorry, I lost you. Didn't even know I lost you there. Are you there? I can. I hear myself, Rock. I can't hear you. Not sure what happened there. Rock, are you there? Well, Rock, I muted your mic. If you want to see if you can get that working again, you can join back anytime. Just click the mic button. But I don't know what the deal is.
I just got you back. I lost the connection there for a second.
Oh, okay. There you go. So I don't know what you heard of mine, but anyway.
I'm sure it was brilliant. I didn't hear almost anything, but I'm sure it was really good.
All I said is I believe in a 72 team, best 72, with tiered payouts. Ohio State keeps what they kill. The Big 12, whatever they've got, they keep what they kill. And the system itself, the structure of the CFP is really what it's all about. And it's not about conferences and media deals. I could care less about those, frankly. I just want the best competition for the college football playoff.
Right, and you're never going. There's no way to make anyone win here, right? Like,
no, there isn't.
You're trying to do way too much. Because if you say 72, then cool. Like, who's 73, and then we can argue like it's March Madness.
Right.
And if you if you solve for Division II or the FCS, then that's not even the same conversation that's happening with a team that's getting, in 2030, $100 million on a TV deal, their media rights. It's like impossible to do that. And they're trying to boil this all into one deal as opposed to 5 to play 5, right? That makes logical sense. I don't even know that I agree with the transfer rule unless, of course, like if you sign a contract, then you solve that rule, right? If you do collective bargaining, then you solve that rule. But I don't really know why a diver at Division II shouldn't be able to transfer, because she might be changing her major twice during her college career, and at that level, a school might be different. So like, why is somebody in a lower division that's not even getting revenue, why are they, because they play a sport, prohibited from transferring more than Joe Student would be, where maybe academics is their driving factor? And that's stupid to be in the rule it is, because you're trying to do all things to everyone. Instead, you're probably going to wind up being nothing to anyone.
Yes, that's what will happen. If they don't moderate it, that's exactly what will happen. Yes.
Right. They might lose people along the way. That's what we'll get. But, my only thing was just, there's a lot of people who are reasonable who think there should be some degree of regulation. All of this, once again, though, is starting from a place that the revenue sports, the schools, and now this Congress don't want to deal with making the players employees and collective bargaining these things together and reverting back to trying to figure out how to limit income for everyone except for themselves.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
That's
so
right.
it's like capitalism,
right.
capitalism for me, but not for thee. And that's what we're experiencing. And once again, we're going down that road. So anyway, I don't want to keep you on for 13 hours, but I wanted to refute that it's just a few people who are the SEC hacks who are against this, because I'm selfish. I'm not going to act like I'm not a guy who wants I don't want to worry that my team who wants to compete for national championships at the highest level, and if there isn't paired media rights, is going to be forever $50 million behind, at a minimum, another conference by 2030, and just praying that our Cody Campbell, who doesn't talk as much, sticks around.
Yeah, at the end of the day, resources have always been upside down, broken. They've never been equal. So why all of a sudden would I demand they are equal now? I don't think they are. I think every
Right.
school does the best they can with what they've got. And at the end of the day, you are able to compete or not compete based on your boosters, based on your alumni, based on your demographics, all those things. Every school has to make up their own mind and see what their pain point is. I'm not into forcing people to do anything. This is a at will championship. So if you want to compete for national championship, there's going to be a certain amount of money you're going to have to pay. It's just the way it is. But
Yeah.
I am not into forcing. I have no conflict in my mind having Ohio State and BYU competing for the same national championship based on whatever the current rules are. That absolutely does not bother me. And if it bothers
Yeah.
people because their school isn't getting fair treatment, then you probably need to go sign up for like a swimming championship somewhere or something, because
Yeah.
that's not elite college football.
And to be clear, I see in a comment that I fail to understand that this isn't just about sports. This is absolutely about sports, because we let sports go crazy in college and make money off of it for tons and tons of years. And now you're dealing with the ramifications of it becoming such a revenue sport. So I understand that some of these and all of these are supposed to be academic institutions, but
Right.
nobody seemed to give a flying crap about that for years while those institutions were building buildings off of the
No.
back of athletes, right? So I
Yeah.
understand these are academics. I know it's not the NFL. I don't need to necessarily be told that. But
Right.
you're trying to regulate things where it's essentially a club sport with essentially the second most valuable sport in America. Right?
Yes. Right.
That's the
Yeah.
challenge. So I don't fail to understand anything. They're failing to understand that that whole boat left for this one area, and now they're trying to get that junior NFL essentially reined
Yes.
in to make sure that the US has a good track team. And to also make sure that the sports don't die across the board, which, by the way, I'm not saying I want sports to die at all these other divisions. I'm just saying this isn't the way to solve it, because you're just causing a whole other level of challenges that I think this will become the law of unintended consequences. And I don't think it's going to save anything. If you want to know what happens with legislation generally, whatever it says it's going to do,
Usually
assume
does the
the
opposite.
opposite. And that's
Yeah.
usually what happens. That's the law of unintended consequences, which is almost as undefeated as billable hours. And that's
Yeah,
my last statement.
You couldn't be more right, Rock. That's exactly where we're at. And I think at the end of the day, every every graduate of a university, every athletic program, they're going to have to make up their minds if they want to compete for a national championship at the highest level or not. There
Right.
is no golden ticket. Hello, Utah. You have to earn what you go and get in the playoff. And don't come at me with fairness. Don't come at me with holding other people back so that you can be equal with them. I don't want to hear about any of that. If
Yeah.
you can get the resources to compete, go for it. If you can't, but you still outlay the costs, fine. But I'm just tired of the storyline that says the only way this can work is if the P2 break away and do their own thing and just thumb their nose at the rest of college football just because they happen to have the money and access advantage right today. I
Right.
I don't believe in any of that. I think that's a bunch of crap. And if you're a school that's that threatened by other schools that are fighting for that relevance, then just get out of my face. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, yeah. The SEC, you guys, you can't go break away and do your own thing, and then think I'm going to recognize, or anyone, most people are going to recognize your champion as the national champion just because you put it in
Right.
the press release,
Of
either,
course,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Yeah. A national championship has to include more than 16 to 20 schools.
right. And
And
then, by the way,
40 schools isn't enough either, by the way. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. This is, no matter what, we're never going to get to true fair. Like, there's grades of this, but in a world where
Right.
people are watching what some people who are on food stamps, what they buy at the
Hmm.
grocery store, and at the same time,
Yeah.
we're cool that we have a trillionaire. I don't really want to hear about fair.
Yeah. Well, fair doesn't exist in today's
Yeah,
world.
correct. So it's like
So
a degrees of making things better, not making them perfect.
that's about all we can do as human beings too. And
Yeah.
instead of ripping on each other because we feel like we have some perceived advantage over other people, and we deserve what we got because it was fought for 150 years ago, I don't buy into that either. There is no time limit or entry point to be competing at the top of college football. If you can do it today, do it today. There is no sort of a time associated with competing. It just comes down to what you're willing to commit to do it.
So I'll let you go so you can rest that
Yeah,
weary
I think I'm
mouth,
going to go to
unless
bed.
somebody
Yeah.
comes in with $100 super chat at the last second, in which case you
Yeah.
could be
Hey,
bought just like
I'll
Ted
stay.
Cruz.
I'll stay. That's right. No, I appreciate that, Rock. Thank you so much. Have a
All
great
right.
night. We'll talk to you
Be
soon.
good, man. Bye.
Okay. Bye. I was going to say, if I will stick around for another half hour, I was only going to go 2 hours, just like last week. If somebody wants to give me $100 super chat, I can be bought. I will stick around, even though my voice is going. I will stick around for a half hour if somebody wants to pay for my loyalty. Otherwise, in the next 90 seconds, if that doesn't come, I'll say peace out and we'll get out of here, and we'll move along. But I'd love to hear from you guys if you want to do that. $100 super chat will buy my love, and will buy 30 minutes more of my time. Let me wet my whistle. I appreciate everybody that's been with us tonight. It's been quite a day for me. I absolutely hate anything to do with dentistry, and I've had all kinds of problems with my mouth. And today was another one of those days. I just, yeah, just my mouth just hurts all the time. Anyway, so if I don't even know what I was going to say with that, but if you'll just be patient with me, I appreciate those that rolled with the punches, even when I had a bit of a brain seizure there. And I will say this, and I don't know who's watching, I don't know who did it because I wasn't tracking names, but I'm not going to subsidize people coming on here and making fun of me, making fun of the channel, laughing, general bullying behavior. It's my channel. I'll block you. I have no problem with that. That's not what we do around here. We are a family. We are not mafia, unless you want to talk about talking about college football. But if I see bullying behavior, anybody that comes on and makes fun of me or anybody else on the channel just because you feel like you can do that, you have some anonymous protection because I don't know where you live. That's cool. But in the future, if I see who you are and what you're doing, I will block you. And you can have fun talking to the hand on X because I'm not going to deal with that. And I really support every single member, every single viewer who stood up for me and stood up for the channel tonight. Everybody has challenges. Everybody runs through stuff, and we support people around here. And flat out, no joke. I don't care who you are. I will absolutely block you on every account we have. And yeah, I'll never have to see you again. So that's I guess one warning. Don't I don't deal with bullies. So that's never going to happen. If I see that again, it's insta ban moving forward. If you watch this recording and you want to throw a fit, well, it's my freaking channel. You guys go start your own channel and actually do some work instead of throwing stones. And last thing I'll say is every single person that is here, that is part of the Mafia family, we've been building for 3.5 years. I love obviously, you're not my blood, but as far as friends can go, I love you guys and I will do anything for you. And there's zero tolerance for bullying around here. And yeah, I'm going to get off of that because it makes me angry. But don't ever do it again. I don't know who did it. There's your one warning. But I will ban you. Yeah. And the other thing is I'm getting DMs. People are being outed on my X profile. People are saying who's done this and who's acted a certain way and said things about me, making fun of me. I've got those tickets in my DMs on Twitter. So if you think you're going to get away with it, you're absolutely blind, because I have 120 people watching right now, and 118 of them have been with me from the beginning, and I will do anything for you I can. And you guys always do the same thing for me. And I can't tell you how it brings me to tears almost seeing you guys stick up for me and stick up for the channel. Yeah, I'm sort of tired out. So no $100 super chat. I really wasn't expecting anybody to do that. We have tomorrow night or Thursday, I will have a members live show. It'll probably last an hour. I'm working on a couple of story ideas. If you have a story idea you would like me to cover, something in the news that you would like to have either my insight or you want me to do some research for you and turn around and present it, send me a DM on Twitter and let me know what those ideas are. And yeah, we'll work on them together. We'll put a show together and we'll absolutely blow it up. And that's for members only live show. So we'll do that tomorrow or Thursday. And I think that's it. Friday night, big freaking Friday. We will see everybody here 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're on X right now and you've been watching for a while and you haven't gone over to College Football Mafia on YouTube and you haven't hit the subscribe button, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say. A lot of new people watching tonight. You guys, all you people, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We should be over 6,000 tonight, and we should be on a downhill, getting to 7 soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Appreciate everybody being here this evening. And I think, let me go backwards and see if there's any other comments that I really want to get out. Mark's Holy Grail, you were one of them. I appreciate you. College Football Express says it was a genetics burner. Could have been. He and I have done everything but come to physical blows. And I'm saying verbal blows. Genetics is one of the worst human beings I've ever met, certainly online. Yeah, we don't need to get into that anymore. Let's see. Devil Frog says, get him, Nate. I say, gig him to all Texas fans. And, to those TCU guys, they're okay too, Devil Frog. Appreciate you, man. Let's see here. Anybody else? Here we go. Daniel Guy. Yeah, it says, we have blocked 2 people during the entire run of the show, and I'm shocked it's that low. Daniel, you are a moderator, you know. You can always block them on my behalf and then let me know. We can discuss it, whether they stay on that or not. But certainly you and Rock, you guys have admin. You can log in and you guys can boot some people and certainly kick them off and block them. I have no problem with that. I will back you up. I will back you up if you do that. Let's see if there's anybody else. Lots of good comments tonight, everybody. You guys are sharp. Mark Solely Gray. Let's see. Kalani checking in at the last, saying Illini Ted, same issues that the European soccer clubs deal with, then they make it work. And those clubs run youth teams and academies and other community sources. Kalani, I am going to do, I don't know if I have time to put something together for tomorrow, but I am going to put a show together basically around this premise that I think college football is the closest American sport to European and World Cup football, soccer in the United States. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And the passion, the almost guerrilla strength of fans of these football teams in the United States representing universities, you're not much different than Liverpool or Arsenal, or you know who I'm talking about. Anybody that's in the Premier League. That is tribal, and that is really, really, really what college football is. College football is English Premier League. They are exactly the same. Being super fans of both, I can define both. I can tell you why both. And that's the closest thing America has to that level of passion in the World Cup is World Cup and college football. Identical. The only difference is one has relegation, one does not. 3-tiered relegation, I would propose. 138 schools, break it into 3 tiers, and you promote and relegate between those. You pick a term, not every year, maybe every 3 or 4 years. Gives you some time to work on the balance. Conferences matter, but really don't matter. Matter for other sports. Yeah. And Americans, if you're not sure what European soccer is, English soccer, Premier League, and I would encourage you to pay attention to the World Cup and then maybe do some research. I'm going to put something together explaining to Americans why college football is English Premier League. And English Premier League is the other. They are the closest. They're the same thing. Exactly the same thing in America. Let's see. Anybody else? Looking for anybody who I haven't seen for a minute. Solar Noel, where have you been? I haven't seen you for a while. Solar Noel is at this point, OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Politicians want to keep power. They do not want their state colleges weakened and eventually worthless because of the P2. I could not have said it better, Solar Noel. That is an absolute fact. And that's why it will never happen. Not in the way the P2 breakaway is being talked about now. Will not happen that way. Because America will rise up. And people think I'm saying that trite or kidding or joking. I'm being dead serious. America will rise up. You will have entire states rising up and fighting for their universities' access, power, influence, all of those things. It's the closest thing. English Premier League and college football. They are psychotically equal, or the same, psychotically the same. Let's see if there's anybody else. Solar also says if you get called out as monopoly, you have to make concessions. Read a history book. Let's see here. I haven't seen you for a minute too, Michael Smith. Let me see if I can find a post from you. Illini Ted coming in at the last minute. Valuable OG member of the College Football Mafia family. The problem with relegation is very hard. I'm going to turn the phones back on. It didn't take $100 super chat. I'm going to stick around for another 15 minutes. I turn the phone lines back on. If you want to call in, then we can keep conversations to shorter terms. We can get a few calls in. 801-899-6203. 801-899-6203. Ted says the problem with relegation is it's very hard to run an entire college athletics program when you have an unknown payout based on being in one media deal or another lesser one if you get relegated, and that is a fact. At the same time, they do it in England here.
Call from
Ryan Thomas.
Ryan Thomas, have you been with me all night?
No, I just joined a little bit. I just got back from stuff teaching tonight. So.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
So just caught the end of the show. Thought I'd save your voice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Help you out. So.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, save your voice. We got to have you strong.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
As Devil Frog said, someone has to argue with Moen. That Big Ten,
sure.
That Big Ten arrogance is exhausting, man.
Okay.
All
right.
the gaslighting is just unbelievable. But one of the funny things I see with all of this is, and I've pointed this out before. Let's Cantwell and Cruz and others. There's not a lot of. Doesn't seem to be like there's a lot of fear right now in the Senate or even in Congress, or the Big Ten and the SEC, and there's a reason why. Ultimately, those two, if they break away, the backlash that would happen would basically make it be politically untenable. They will never get an antitrust exemption. Those two would never get an antitrust exemption on their own.
Right.
And
right.
if they don't have that, those two cannot coordinate together on NIL rules, on transfer rules, on postseason stuff. I mean, if they don't have antitrust exemptions, they cannot coordinate together, which means they will not be able to control the cost of NIL, and they will not be able to control, like, the situation that they're upset about now will get 10 times worse, because I've got news for those boys in the Midwest. In the South, Bama, LSU, they play for keeps.
Right.
They play for keeps, and that's how it's gonna be, and they're gonna end up in a death spiral where they're gonna be spending way more money than they can, and what's gonna end up happening is private equity is gonna come in there, and you're eventually gonna see the next separation will be the top powers will then decide to say, hey, let's start shedding Minnesota, Rutgers, and others because they're dead weight. And, I think that this is sort of, a reality that they're not going to have that. And the other thing, too, is, I've dealt with tax M&A and dealt with a lot of things for profit and profit entities, did a lot, with international IP migration for the past 18, 20 years. And one of the things that's, like, just kind of interesting to me is, one of the problems that ultimately ends up developing with these guys is I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I was going on my rant. Really a shame. I should have brought my A game. But,
hey, no, I did. I'm tired as well, so totally understandable.
No. But I mean, one of these. So one of the problems is in order to basically, you can maintain your tax exempt status, but any income that's not in harmony with the university's mission and purpose is called unrelated business taxable income. So, I mean, if the SEC and Big Ten move basically from amateurism, which is supposed to kind of, promote broad competition and, coordination, or, and basically working together and collegiality with other colleges, if they're moving into semi-professional sports leagues,
right,
that income is not going to maintain tax-exempt status. And
well, the
NFL
did. The NFL made the transition.
No, Bomber, that's not true. The NFL itself does.
Right.
But the NFL itself is a flow-through entity. The NFL teams have to pay taxes on the income they make from the NFL.
Okay.
That money is not not tax exempt to the team.
Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for correcting me.
They definitely.
Okay.
I mean, years ago, I helped work on selling the Broncos when the Bolin family. But trust me, they paid plenty. The Broncos paid plenty of taxes. But so I mean, the NFL itself isn't. But that's kind of it works like a partnership. So I mean, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, they're going to kind of erode away their own benefits based on doing this, and alienating everybody isn't necessarily going to go all right, you know. And they want to harp and complain about freedom of association here, but they're basing their association on non-athletic criteria. And like, if they want to start touting out research dollars and research status, blah 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 blah, you know, that's federally funded stuff. So if a federally funded aspect is going to somehow be involved with determining who gets to play and who gets to be able to compete, then you know what? I'm sorry, Lugar and Moen. The government damn well has a business getting involved. So, I mean, you know, this is sort of an annoying thing. And hopefully, like I said, I'm annoyed, and I'll get off with this. It's just really it comes down to they don't want to follow the CSC rules they agreed to in the House settlement. And that's what's so annoying about these guys. Pat Forday wrote a great article, and I'm just so tired of their whining. I'm just so tired of it. And I can promise them, if they want to break away, the backlash is going to be horrible on them. And they're going to be public enemy number one, and no one's going to have any sympathy for them. Anyway, that's it, buddy. You have a good night.
Okay. You too. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk to you later. He is Ryan Thomas in the house. And I gotta defend my brothers in arms, Greg Flugar and Moen After Dark, both of them. They do a ton of research like you do, Ryan. And while you guys have polar opposite views on how this stuff works, I like to think, well, I for a fact respect all of you for your different ways of looking at things, and I would just encourage other people to do that as well. And gotta watch out, ganging up on my guys. Anyway, Ryan, I appreciate you tonight. Anybody else? 90 seconds. I've got 90 seconds, 89, 88. Call me now or forever hold your peace. We will move on to our member shows either tomorrow or Thursday. And then our next live show for sure will be on Friday. And that one will be Big Freaking Friday. The whole team will be there. Should be a lot of fun. Down to 60 seconds, 59, 58. We will take this down to a minute. Then I will shut down the phone lines. We'll get out of here. It's your last chance. Super stickers. You can do a super chat. Hit that little dollar bill next to the comment box on the display. And you can do a super chat or a super sticker. You can also subscribe, or you must subscribe to the College Football Mafia channel on YouTube. Oh, here we go.
Call from
Tawtown back.
Tawtown Hawk?
Yeah, I tried to do two things at once and it didn't work out.
Oh, okay.
It's Tawtown Hawk back was what I was going for, but it came out wrong.
Okay. All right.
This pretty much is just a rebuttal only for David. And by the way, David, great call when he called in. It's a numbers thing. I know he's convinced. He said, poor Big 12 and it's only going to be the P2, yada, yada, yada. I think just from a simple numbers standpoint, this is where we are 5 or 6 years ago, Nate, when before the transfer portal, before NIL, what were these teams signing? 25 apiece, right? High school talent, right? Coming in at the P4 level, more or less.
Yeah.
So you're talking even with some of the higher end G6s, call it 100 teams. That's 2,500 quality high school players coming into well-funded development programs.
Okay.
Fast forward to today, what or beyond today, what they're talking about in the future. If it's just the P2, say it's 30 teams. Okay, they're not going to be, number one, they're not going to be signing 25 high school players every year if they're still going off of this free agency transfer portal hybrid system, right? That at most they're going to do maybe half of that. So that's 30 at 15, 304. So 400 or 500 high school players into the Premier League every year. Now, you look at that aspect from the viewpoint of a NFL owner. What would you rather have? Would you rather have 2,500 people going into a moderately predictable development system where they're going to get 4 years of instruction, or if they're elite, less than that because they're going to be eligible for the draft and they're going to go out early? Or do you want less players going into a Premier League where everything's going to be funded, but likely they may or may not be at those schools all 4 years? As a matter of fact, they may be at 4 different programs and development systems in 4 years if they're the type of guy that, chases the buck.
Okay.
I think what you're staring at in that scenario is absolutely a worse product on the field, not only in college, but also at the NFL level. Eventually. I think it waters down, and that hurts the product and the end run down the road. And the one thing NFL owners do not want is a watered down product that hurts their long-term bottom line, period.
Right.
So I think NFL ownership is going to do anything and everything they can, which is why I believe they came out in full support of the bill as it is, to disallow Power 2, because they want essentially a more robust development minor league system for them to choose from. By the way, it's also paid for by somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen to Downhawk. I don't think.
Oh no! I don't think that they're going to have to pay for it. I'm thinking they don't want it. They don't want to have to open up academies at some point in the future because
it's not
not enough
practical.
talent going into the system.
No, football's a different animal than all these other sports. You have 105 on each team. You have at universities 4 and 5 year athletic programs to develop. I mean, there's just the list goes on and on and on. I don't think anything in those lines gets touched at all. I think it is what it is now. Anybody expecting anything different, in my opinion, is just going to go crazy, because there'd be no reason to change at this point.
From the NFL's perspective?
Yeah, well, I think from college perspective, the college is now fighting every tooth and nail to survive against the NFL, say in December and January, if if that becomes something that isn't collaborative, they don't want to cut into each other's, demographics. So,
I think college should be scared to death of that, especially the P2. If they went their own way and the NFL could just, schedule head to head against them on an extra day of the week, they absolutely would.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
I'm glad.
Right.
All right, man. That's all. I just wanted to get back.
Okay. No problem.
To
Thanks to Town Hawk. I appreciate you.
All right, bud. I'll see you on Friday.
Okay. Yeah. See you on Friday. Have a great night.
Yeah. You too. Bye.
He is to Town Hawk, the super fan for the Kansas Jayhawks in the house. And I think now we're done. Everybody, thank you so much for sticking with me. It's there we go. 3 hours. That was not my original intent. I have to turn around and do another hour tomorrow. So I kind of feel like you guys took advantage of me. No, I'm teasing. But tomorrow night or Thursday, just watch my Twitter account. Notifications will come. I'll let you know when our next shows are and what I'm going to do from an implementation standpoint when it comes to all, if possible, as much content as we can, because we have so many storylines. We'll keep at it. I make no promises, though. Right now, we are absolutely stretched because we want to bring you guys as much content as humanly possible. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. So I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. It's been a fun show. Please stay out of trouble this evening. I will see you in the next day or two. Watch my Twitter handle for notifications and everything else that's coming on. John, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for sticking with me. 3 hours is a long time. And as tired as I am, I know most of you guys have been watching with me all night long. And that just tells you how impressive you guys are. It has nothing to do with me. And just one last word again. If you guys come across people that are bullies, people that treat you poorly or treat your family or friends poorly, we got to stand up for each other. I refuse to accept crap like that happening at any time, let alone on one of our shows. So don't hesitate to let me know if we're running into people like that in the chat, because I will have no compunction about banning them and kicking them, because that's not what we do around here. Whether we agree or disagree, we do not treat each other that way. And it's a lesson learned now for everybody. If you happen to be one of those people and you are just over your skis a little bit, that's cool. Everybody makes mistakes and does different things. So it's other shows, you can do that to people, though. It won't happen around here. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for all you've done for me. I want you guys to stay out of trouble. What's this? Solar Noel says, I thought the $100 would go to a gold grill with a diamond added for each BYU natty. Whoa. Solar Noel, $100, I don't think it'll get me there. For me to do anything like that for any amount of time, it would have to be a pretty big number. Pretty big number. We're not there right now. So, we can have a conversation on the side. So, if you want, we could come up with something else. You guys are hilarious. Everybody stay out of trouble. Have a great night. Reach out and touch someone. Give them a hug, kiss. Send them an email. Send them a text. Give them a call. Let them know you're thinking about them, because I guarantee you will make their day or evening whenever that comes. And I will see you guys in the not too distant future for what would be another of our live member shows. I guess I should say that really quick. The show I do tomorrow or Thursday, it will be a members show. So if you want access to that show, you will have to become a new member of the College Football Mafia family. Easy way to do that right now before I let you go is next to the comments box right on YouTube. Hit the dollar bill. It'll come up. One of the options is either gift new memberships if you already have one, or become a new member of the College Football Mafia. And then I'll see you pretty dang soon. Otherwise, I will see everybody else Friday night. And I just want you guys to stay safe and help each other out. I don't know where I'm trying to find my, that is really weird. Why is it not showing? I'm sorry, everybody. It's not, for some reason, that was really weird. All right. Well, anyways, there's the Twitter handles. There's the following things for YouTube and everything else. We will do this all together. And you guys are awesome, and I appreciate everything you do for us. Everybody stay out of trouble. I'm going to say go Cougs. Go Hawks. Go Bombers. And peace out. You guys stay out of trouble. Talk to you later. Bye.